That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I need to go on this other thing now and see, because I'm just like a booty head. Oh, there I am, and we're live. Go ahead, do
What?
your thing, Gleb, with your sound effects and stuff.
Oh no, no, we gonna
Oh,
get.
okay, good.
We already an hour late. That's
Good morning and welcome to Monos featuring me, Monica Mo Justice, and my special guest today is Glib Talk.
what's going on, good people. Nice to see you this morning, Mo.
Good morning. Shucks. You know what? I gotta deal with. I see you, Eric Brown. I'll get you on the back end. I'll give you a call when I'm done. Listen, everybody. Make sure you like today's video when you come in, cause it's a new day a coming.
New day coming.
It's a new day a coming. All right. The only thing is, I need to refresh this chat because it's got a little delay in it where it's picking up from.
I
All
see
right.
it.
Yeah, it's the wrong person. I hit you and I get Sam, so it's one behind.
Oh,
I hate that. All right, I can't always get perfect, but I can get close to it. Oh, it's not a warship day, but we decided we wanted to come up here today, and I just wanted to shoot the breeze
is
as
that what
best
we're
I
doing,
could.
please?
Yeah. Well, so why are we collaborating this morning? Because we ain't had nothing better to do. It was an available Sunday.
That's true. That's true.
And we've been like behind the scenes talking about what could be in front of the scenes content. You're recording, right?
Um, Man, my computer's bugging.
Oh, wait a second. Can I
I'm
record?
gonna film
Wait
the
a minute.
video.
I'm gonna record over here. Start recording. All right. So I'm gonna record over here.
Yeah, that's why I'm over here looking because I'm trying to get my resources are way higher than they typically are. And I'm trying to figure out why.
All right.
So,
Well, I put it to record. I'll send you the thing when it's
but you
oh,
know what? Christmas is coming. Christmas.
Christmas is coming. Not winter is coming. Not this year. They let that man go.
Oh man.
Remember him? Good morning, Sam Francis. Good morning. Good
You know what?
morning.
And matter of fact, Christmas is going to be terrible this year because I just had to get my bathroom redone, my master bath redone. So that's expensive. So it's going
Is
to be
the
a lot.
math is the master bathroom connected to the master bedroom?
Yes.
Oh, how selfish of you to just go get your master bathroom done.
You know, it's funny, right? Is that the guy called? He was like, he called me yesterday. He was like, hey, if you wanted to get more bathrooms done, it'd be 30 to 40% off, depending on how much you spend. I was like, nah, I already spent enough. Like, I'm
You don't
good.
want to do that basement bathroom though?
I do want to do the basement bathroom, but the basement bathroom,
It's a
that's a whole
simple
nother.
DIY task.
I mean, I'm probably gonna end up in the basement just doing like the floors and the vanity, which is I could just hire somebody to do that's not difficult.
Oh,
But
me,
I'm not gonna
I'm
do it.
loving the basement. Well, you know what? When I was a kid, we spent all our time down here in this damn basement. So
Yeah.
I just hate that it's not warm enough down here. In the summertime, it's a pleasure to be down here in the basement, but in the
Hmm.
wintertime, it's a whole nother experience. But I don't know. I
I,
love
I
being.
have a fireplace down. My daughters love it because there's a fireplace down here, so that they come out here and run up my damn heating bill. That's what they do. Because I'm always warm, so I don't need no damn. You come out here in the summertime and they running uh, the gas. They're running the gas, which is counter to the air conditioning that's going on. But I guess that's why it's there, right?
Yeah, I just have to make myself look great again. No, it's like it's
Yeah.
just I don't know. Sometimes when I look back at my videos, I just be like, "Why you sat up there looking busted, girl?" When these other people have avatar only zones, right? So you don't know what they look like, right? So they get the benefit of telling you they look gorgeous, even though you know they must be busted because they can't be trusted to go live and show you. So at the end of the day, I'm just working with, I know that I am not, I am proud of what I got going on. So I'm just going to share it. And that's about it. Like, even when I feel like I'm not looking at my optimum, I'm not afraid to show my face up here and put that work in as it relates to if you don't want your face to be associated with something, you would behave a certain kind of way. But when you get to hide, you get to really hide. You get to be nasty and hide that nastiness behind an avatar and just go on and on and on. I really can't understand now for the life of me why folks are even entertaining avatars. And I find myself now asking like that question. Have you ever seen that person's face? Oh, I ain't talking to faceless people.
So hey, let me ask you a question. How difficult is it to actually show your face? Like as a woman, like for me, like I was saying, my preparation is very minimal. Like I may decide to cut my hair, but I mean, I wash my face and brush my teeth, and I'm ready to start my day.
It's not hard for me to show my face because I just think if you invested the time to be here on this type of platform, that you would take the time to actually be here. Like you're here for folks, for people. So you want them to be able to be like, "Oh, okay. I'm talking to Monica. Monica got up this morning to entertain me or to speak to me." So I just was like, I think they deserve to see me do me.
Yeah.
But if I would have came here as an avatar, I guess I would have just hid behind the avatar. But I like my avatar too. That's why I've never changed her.
I mean, maybe it's a little challenging. What's up, Dandelion? Maybe it's more challenging for others, facially or otherwise. But I was listening to this.
You doing shade early?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, some people can't wake up. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I woke up this morning. I brushed my teeth, I washed my face, and I had on a different shirt, and I said, it's not going to show well with the green screen. I put on the sweater. And that's it. Like, there's no thought. I got on pajama pants. Like, there's no thought.
Me too. I'm still in my I'm still in pajama pants as well. Like, but it just all depends on what it's personal preference at this point. I cannot shun somebody for not doing their YouTube the way I do my YouTube. That's what makes us unique.
Correct. You know what I'll never do again though? And I used to do this, I think maybe. Make fun of people because they did turn the camera on and talk about what you saw when they did it. And it's like, you know what? It probably takes a lot of courage for that person to do it, because it does. Like whenever you turn on your camera, someone can go frame by frame and make you look stupid if they wanted to. So to turn your camera on and show your face takes a level of courage. And there are some people who will tell you how great they look, and you never see what they look like other than in the photoshopped, filtered pictures that they decide to release. So for other people, like for me, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm not really concerned, but for those who are concerned that can show themselves, I think that takes a lot of, what I'm saying? They should get a little bit more acknowledgement because they put their face on the screen. But you shouldn't show your face though if you don't want to. I think it might be better for some to leave it up.
Wow. That's all I gotta say.
A lot of screenshot going on.
It's just wow. No, I was sending a link to my boo thing.
Oh, okay.
Just to make sure, because I mentioned I was going to be doing this, and everybody don't like to share.
Yeah, I don't like.
It is what
I don't like to share.
Well, it all depends. It all depends. Miss Dandelion, with my chatting thing, those emojis don't come up good. They only come up like face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy.
I, I
So
I never knew what that was. Grinning face with sweat.
no, no, it says it's face with tears of joy.
Hmm.
So y'all could use that the next time y'all catch Joy crying over there. Y'all could just throw that face down and just be
Oh
like,
no.
hey, this is the face with tears of joy. Shout out to that cousin from another planet over there.
Were they
Okay.
crying last? Was she crying last night? Was it?
No,
I didn't watch very much. I was busy.
no. But I
Okay.
heard somebody, I think I heard her man say something about people wearing aluminum hats. Yes, sir, that's me. I wear aluminum hats around here when I want to keep the bad elements away. Shout out to RBR. Like it's just there are some times when you want to uh combat the negative energy, and I go get my hat and it's sitting up here just for those occasions. And that's
No,
about
I
that
didn't.
one.
No,
I
I
don't
didn't think you
I
say that.
saw the video.
I was, I was thinking of a joke, and then I figured you might not get it.
Go ahead. Try
Uh,
it. Let me
uh,
see.
have you seen a pop locking guy who he pop locks for Christ? He's a
No.
Mexican gangbanger, and he
And he
pop lock
pop locks.
and he gets out his shield, and so in his pop lock routine, he has a shield and a sword, and it's funny and ridiculous, but the people in the church liked it, and it went viral. It was I wish we could play it, but there's music in the background.
Oh.
No, let me see if I can play it without the music so you can see what I'm talking about.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's see, Pop Lock for Christ. That was it went viral. I don't know how you missed this. Yeah. Oh, this is something you got to add to your you got to add the mute tab on your Chrome.
I don't use Chrome.
Oh, you don't use Chrome. See, that's problem number one for you right there. Is you don't use Chrome.
Well, remember when I bought this new no, when I upgraded to Windows, whatever this is.
You ever seen this guy before? He's in church.
No, I never seen that guy before. No, I never seen
He's
him.
stomping on the enemy right now. But yeah, he's gonna show us his shield. He's got a sword. Look. But yeah, he went viral. There it goes. There's a shield. Anyway, that's what I was thinking about when you talk about your helmet. Oh yeah, he put on the helmet too.
Let's take a moment. Did you watch? All right, first of all, how many videos of Joy's did you watch last night? Skim through last night.
I have to be honest. So I probably watched total 1,800 seconds between two videos. Like I can't. I'll see the link and I'll click in and I'll see what they're talking about, and then I might skim forward or backwards. But I can't really, because I don't follow that closely. I don't know mostly what they're talking about, so I only can comment on the part that I heard, which doesn't often make a lot of sense to me. So, like, I heard her talking about this video that I didn't see, and playing some of John Frank's video that I didn't see either. So I was kind of like, confused. But she was very upset though. She was very frustrated. And then I saw the part where Trey got mad at John when they played a little bit of I guess John was talking shit about him, so he was pretty pissed off about that. But I don't know. I can't tolerate very much. I guess I should say that. But they probably don't tolerate much of mine either. I get no views, so just that.
Um, the one that you speak on, I fell asleep on. So I might have entered at some point and I heard So I heard I call it channel trafficking over here. And for people that don't know my definition of that, that's when another channel holder takes a channel holder's content and utilizes it for commentary, whatever. YouTube calls that fair use, and some of people use a disclaimer and they call it fair use, but here I call it channel trafficking. So I saw her channel trafficking his video in terms of the audio component of it, because then there's a fearitoid here where people are fearful that if you play another person's thing, that you are going to be flagged or whatever, copyright, whatever it is. So at the end of the day, I heard some of it. I had not heard any of that before. So it was new information for me. And let me take a moment again to remind people how I process information. I make opinions based on the information I have. And sometimes my opinion changes based on the information I have. So if I give you my source, which I'm very honest about, when I source things, I say, listen, I watched so-and-so's video, and this is what I saw, and this is what I heard, and this is what I'm speaking on, or speaking to, or speaking over, or speaking under, speaking around, right? This is what this is about. And I try to be as candid as possible so that you understand where I got my information from. So if you discover down the line that I don't have the whole picture, I'm going to do one of Joy's things right now, then you should hit me up inside those comments below and let me know. Say like at timestamp 16 minutes 42 seconds, you didn't have the whole picture. The best thing about my comments is that they're held for review. I look at those things and I evaluate if I'm going to release it for public consumption or if I'm going to use it for my own private moments to be able to build upon my content. So that's what I end up doing. So in a nutshell, I saw that it was interesting to me because it was new information and it gave a lot of background into how this dispute emerged. So it was interesting, but I fell asleep on it.
So do you think that in explaining how they got there, they can navigate their way away from each other? Or is this just another collision course waiting to happen?
Well, who's the they?
Well, John Frank was speaking about Lovely the Great. I believe that's what he's talking about, right? Is that her video that she put up that he talked to her about taking down. And Joy is talking about Lovely and John, but that they're on a collision course together of fighting. But in understanding why they're there, do you think they can say, oh, well, that's why she's pissed off, or that's why he said something, or that's why she put up her video? Maybe we can just say, oh, well, we won't do that no more, and then move on. I don't think that's how around here, particularly. Write your thought down.
I wrote it down. So your question to me is, will they now be able to move away from the discussion?
Yeah, or the disagreement, right? Because there's a disagreement, either about how they got there or why they're there.
Well, I guess I would have needed to watch the beginning of Joy's video and not fall asleep at the end of Joy's video to figure out what happened. Like how did she get to playing his video? You understand? So what I did garner from the portion I saw before I fell asleep was that he came out here, he being John, was dissatisfied with an action that Psycho engaged in. And I know you use a government over here. I use a Citadome over here. So anyway, so Psycho put so what I know now and what I knew yesterday or Friday may be different information from what I know today. And people like to take your words and make content out of it and say, all right, see, this bitch was lying then, and she knew this then, and she knew this, and you just be like, whatever. But at the end of the day, from what I gathered, John reacted. He put up a reaction video where he was reacting to the use of people's children's images or whatever somewhere, and he asked somebody to remove their content wherein they did that when they are engaged in that kind of behavior. And from what I garnered, the person complied. So Psycho complied at some point. Now, what I also gathered from the information of Joy's videos is that she was not aware that her daughter was utilized in any fashion. So she wasn't aware that one, her daughter was the subject of it. And whoops, I gotta do a little moment. I hate when I hear that somebody's done something to my Mia ex Vegas. Shit pisses me off. So I'm already in like tight mode, just listening to what is alleged to have been put on my sweet little Mia ex from Vegas. It bothers me, right? It bothers me because I interacted with this young lady. I like this young lady, even though her mother and I are not friends. It didn't make me like her less. So that just pissed me off, right? So just hearing that in and of itself, I would have to agree with Joy. Everything Joy say from that moment, because I see Joy would be reacting as a mother would react. And then having had some relationship with the young lady, I feel the same kind of way. Whatever it was, I feel that same kind of way. So at the end of the day, she removed the video, but Joy didn't know nothing about the video, according to Joy. And so this was all coming to light to her, and it was giving her insight as to why the woman was going after her, which now appears to be because Joy shared on her community wall a video that somebody else did that was against Psycho, and that depicted Psycho's daughter on the video.
Let me make sure I never do that again. Share someone's video.
Well, that's a fundamental issue here, right? When you share, so your community wall, this is my opinion, okay? I gotta start with that. In my opinion, your community wall is an extension of your channel. Ergo, it's your shit to do with what you feel like you should do with it. And if you feel like you should share somebody's video that you share out, then you share the person's video out, right? The question becomes, when do you share the person's video for your own satisfaction? For me, I tend to share videos when I've watched it in its entirety to see if its content is appropriate for my audience. If it aligns with my values and so on. I shared you the other day. Did I share one of your videos recently? Maybe I wanted to.
I hope so. Maybe you thought about it and then thought better of it.
Yeah, because I might have watched all of it and then said, yeah, this don't match my, and I'm going to use the word of the week or the phrase of the week, moral compass. It doesn't align.
What you have to do is you got to say, like, you know how on Twitter they say retweets are not endorsements?
Oh.
Right? You have to say, like, I'm just sharing this because I know this person and I'm trying to show that I'm showing support. But I don't really know what they're saying, so I don't agree. I don't agree with this shit they're about to say. Maybe, maybe not. We have to take this line by line. And you know what? That's almost any person who creates content and puts up something, right? Like the Kyrie Irving situation. He shares that video with no context. He just shares it with no context. And they say, you've endorsed and supported every word of the video, even though there are lots of words in the videos that are not offensive that he could have supported. But because he shared it, they say you endorsed all of it and you're being anti-Semitic.
So whose video did Kyrie share? And I'm glad you segued into this. Whose video did he share?
It was a video called Hebrews and Negroes, which is it's a book that was turned into a movie from I can't remember what the guy's name, Ronald something. But the book explains how I guess the black man is the original Jew, and about how the Jews have stolen or some mess like that. Is what the basic gist of it I have, but I have not watched the movie nor read the book because I refuse to pay. And the price is going up for it, if you could believe that, as Kyrie Irving has brought more attention to it.
Okay, what was the name of the book?
From Hebrews to Negroes.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen. And you only can watch it on Amazon if you could believe that. Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America.
Okay, so we already know it's not going to be on the Monica Mo Justice book list because I do not do Amazon books. If I can't find your book published somewhere else and it's only on Amazon, I refuse to read it. And I have this issue with somebody at my job. She wrote a book.
Yeah.
And she's like, I wrote a book. And I'm like, oh, and she's like, I know you like to read. And I was like, no, I love to read. But I was like, so you wrote a book. Who published it? She's like, oh, I self-published it. I got it on Amazon. I was like, all right, go girl. Go with your bad self. Go keep it moving. And then she just basically asked me, and I was like, I don't do Amazon books. They're normally permission to talk honestly. She was like, why you don't do Amazon books? You can write a book and put it on Amazon. I said, yeah, that would be I'll be shopping my book around to a publisher. I'm telling y'all this right now. I wouldn't even be thinking self-publish because the quality of books that are on that self-published list, unless somebody has something already published, it's just garbage. It's written poorly. You can't understand it. It's something that will probably be down the road suable moment, lawsuit friendly. So I'm not inclined to do that. So with all of that said, I told her that people normally write poor grammar. I was like, when I just said, that's the first thing. Poor. She's like, oh no. So she's handing me her book in the office. Y'all know what happened, right? Do I need to tell you? Open up first page, whatever, and there is the mixing of the is and are. Like it's a plural word that should be like something are. Like, and she's got the word is there. I said, this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. This, I didn't even get past paragraph 1. And I was like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I said, when I start to read this, then I start to correct stuff. And I was like, so I hand her back her book. And she was just like,
this stuff is hard to read. I had a friend that wrote a book too. He first off, he's an idiot, right? So there's that. And he was trying to be like some type of financial advisor of some sort because he had made money buying or selling Dogecoin or some other type of cryptocurrency, right? So he writes this book that he tells me, hey, I'm giving this away for free, but if you could donate, if you like it. And I'm like, well, I probably don't need it, right? Like I read a lot, so I don't need you to tell me what your idea is. He was like, oh no, it's good, check it out. And it was like I couldn't get past like the first page it's like you can tell he's copied and pasted multiple sources together. The paragraphs on the first page don't even align with the thoughts he's trying. I'm like, man, no, thank you. No,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. I spoke to somebody in the office and they was like, just buy the damn book, Monica. You don't have to read it.
Listen, I bought a book from the mall from a guy like that, and I opened it up to read it one day because I had it on my shelf for 2 years, and I told you this already about there was no indentation in the whole book. So it's just one long continuous run-on sentence for 300 pages, and it was like this is the worst. Oh yeah,
you told me that.
This is the worst decision I've ever made in my life because this isn't even worth the $10 that I gave him. Like he should pay for this failure to proofread his work by not making a single dime.
Look, I want to close out that Joy situation with this note. As a parent, we all feel passionate about our children. We
Mm-hmm.
also feel passionate that we didn't bring our children to the internet, and the beefs, and I'm using that word with the quotation thing, the discrepancies should, if you, my opinion, if you think to have to diss somebody's child, you've already lost the argument for me, because you've had to dive low. You had to take low blows to try to win. Now, from what I was, and sometimes, this other woman, this psycho woman, right? She doesn't, she doesn't present to me a person that has rational parenting thinking, processing, ever since the situation where she was willing to test her own freaking grandchild to see if her new husband and her daughter had sexual relations and birthed this grandchild for an art to prove somebody on the internet wrong. An allegation on the internet. She was willing to defame her family's honor, new husband, daughter, grandchild, just to prove a point on the internet. And the more I tried to describe that to her, like how ridiculous that notion is, right? Because it's an obvious that should not be the case, right? That should be a negative test. You don't have to go and do those levels, right? But the people's, for the crave of attention and YouTube views and confused, you're willing to take those risks. It just sounds stupid to me. Like, it's not something I would engage in. And I will always say that from a parental standpoint, when her emotions get involved in the issue, I don't think she makes rational decisions. So even though, oh Jesus, I'm gonna use the name that we utilize over here, Kid Dynamite, right? And that would be the husband in the Robinsons, right? If Kid Dynamite puts up people's kids, right? And he must have put up this woman's kid in this instance. And then people shared the video wherein he did that. And she's mad at them because she's saying, hey, you shared the video and this is what this man was doing to me. I'm just like, okay, she got into her emotions and she went after you women because of that reason. And she gave y'all the business because of that. Because the honest answer is she couldn't handle the person that caused the hurt, which is going to be Kid Dynamite. She can't take him out, but she can take the people around him out. So she went into attack mode to people around him. And
this isn't the first time this has happened. This ain't the second time. This is the third time. It's almost impossible to count the number of times this particular thing has happened. And it's like, no one, at this point, we've been at it so long that no one's hands are clean. No one's innocent. No one's an innocent victim. It's just another blow that you receive in participating in it. So it's like, it shouldn't be surprising that I'm not sure if she watched the video or not. And I'm not saying that LTG was right to put it up, but it ain't surprising that that's the byproduct of it. You know what I mean? It's like, that's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one should be like I am outraged by the outrage.
You're
like, I was like, why is anyone like, what the fuck is going on? Everyone on the panel had put up someone's kid. Everybody on the panel has done it, and now they're outraged, or the chat's outraged, or it makes no sense to me. Be strong, be brave. You can get, like, come on, man. Like, like, it's been proven now that after 5 years of this, no one's gonna die from this, right? Someone's gonna put up a stupid picture, they're gonna show it, and then that's gonna be the end of it, and you'll move on. You'll be mad forever. But to be outraged that it happened when you're on a panel with someone who fucking is doing it now.
Well, wait a second. To be outraged, who's outraged now?
anyone's outrage. But I mean, okay, you could say uh, uh, LTG's outrage with JJ, and say I'm going to put up Joy. Joy is outraged with LTG for what she did. Like it's, I mean, I can understand.
Well, I see. Now this is when the particulars come down, right? And this is why I went into speaking about why I feel like Psycho gets emotional, and then her reaction, which could be warranted, right? Her reaction is warranted because someone's done something to her. But I'm just saying that her response is not equivalent to the harm because she takes it out on somebody else. Where I differ.
How do you equivocate the harm from one person to another? What you believe is the proper response may not be what I believe is the proper response.
The proper response is to respond to the person that harmed you. So in this instance, she's saying that the harm was not the man putting up my kid. It's all of you bitches for sharing his shit that he's putting up my kid. Like, so I can't go after Kid Dynamite. So I go after the people that shared his shit, right? So this is how advertisers look at stuff. Like Kanye West made a statement, right? But the people are going to go after the advertisers that are highlighting his statement. So that's exactly what she's doing. She's going after the people that shared his statement. Now the question is, how do you effectively go after the people that made the statement? So do you go and you engage in attacking their children? And that's what she did. Whatever the responses were, whatever. Then she explains, and this is the shit that's mind-boggling to me, right? And this is Psycho. She explains why she drew back her attack on the first two people, right? Because one begged her to take it off, right? Another bitch came in there and gave her a cash app to take it off. And Joy's gonna stand her motherfucking ground. And Joy, cousin Joy, you better stand your fucking ground, because we're talking about Mia X right here. You know, like, you better stand your goddamn ground. You better not cave, because this is principle. Them bitches over there.
But no, cave to what? Cave to what? Like did Joy do something to them in retaliation other than talk shit?
No, cave is, you see how the other one took the shit down? They took this shit down, right? Because I just finished telling you, one paid her to, and the other one, one asked her to and said, if you do this, like, she gave her like a truce.
Yeah.
You do this, please take this down. I don't want this information out here. I see your point. I should not have done it. Maybe that's what and I'm going to tell you right now, this is based on the information that I heard from Joy's videos. So understand me, Psycho. I did not go watch your video. I did not give you my view. I gave my view to Joy, who was playing your shit, okay? Who was channel trafficking. But so I don't know if there's more context around this. I don't know if there's other things that was said. I'm only can share with what I heard at this point. And so I'm going off of this. What I heard you say was that you took down the other woman's video. You took down the videos that you made about these other two women because one woman asked you to, and she made a truce. The other woman came in your chat and gave you a super chat or a cash app. So basically she paid extortion. And the third person, which is Joy, didn't even know you was part of this. Video was taken down, or your assault on her, your response, whatever you want to call it, was diminished by the request of John Frank. You removed it at the request of John Frank. So it wasn't even Joy. But the issue, Glib,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
The issue for Joy, which would be my issue the same, is that she paired Joy's daughter with Kid Dynamite. and saying that Joy's minor, who's not an adult, her minor is in a relationship with Kid Dynamite. Now I'm going to say this right now. If Joy is wrong about that connectivity, that's what you need to tell me about Psycho. Nothing fucking else. Because nothing else around here fucking matters when it comes down to this shit. Is Joy wrong about what you did on that wall? Because I haven't seen it. So I'm going off of Joy's hurt for what you did, or anger or outrage. So the question now becomes, is Joy's anger, outrage, and her depiction of what it's about accurate? And if it is, I'm saying I truly support her based on those facts. But if those are not the facts, then that's what you should correct me on, and then I will go by your fact pattern. And that's a fact of life. That's just how shit goes.
At this point, right, Joy hasn't done anything but be mad at the fact that this happened. She hasn't done anything to LTG. She ain't make a video presenting LTG's children or photoshopping something, or she just talked. Correct?
She just talked. I would have to say yes at this point, because I really don't know.
I mean, so she doesn't, I mean, there's nothing really that she can take back. She said words, and the words are out. She expressed how she felt, which probably was probably harsh. I would imagine they were pretty harsh. The little bit that I heard, she sounded she was pretty frustrated.
Well, that wasn't on the video that you heard. I've listened to a second video.
The one that she was doing last night on John Frank, where she was commenting to him on whatever he was commenting about removing. So, and this is the LTG thing, like the video or picture, whatever that thing was. So,
all right, and then in video 2, for the night, because that's the one where I watch, is where she explains more there what the youth, like what the post was on Psycho's community wall, because it was a post, it wasn't a video. Okay. It was a post of her child, and she made some connection to Kid Dynamite. So I don't know if she superimposed the child with her, if she put the child's picture there and then had a comment that this is so-and-so's new girlfriend, blah, 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 but knew that she used Joy's daughter. I don't know, because I hadn't seen it and it was not shown on the channel. And if it was shown, I was laying in my bed, so I was listening, not watching, like, because most of the time they never put up anybody's video anyway, so it's just a bunch of talk.
And you know what, I guess it's unfortunate. It's been long. It's been, to me, I would say it's been long enough, but I mean, you know, it should keep going forever, maybe.
I mean, you always run the risk of these people exploiting your child because they cannot have a conversation with you. See, if you were able to have my audience, right, or have the person that you're at audience, then you wouldn't have any of these problems, because you would just go straight to the source.
Correct. But all this stuff is possible because it would seem that, and I can't do this, right? So I guess I'm being hypocritical in even saying this, that you should be able to have a conversation to address the disagreements, but I can't do it, right? Like, every time I try to do it, it turns into a huge argument or a shouting match of some sort.
In what aspect? Because I can, and I saw me do it, right? When we talk about the unofficial hood therapist, right? He did something to me where I felt like he wronged me, but I was able to bring him up. He was willing to participate in a discussion. I didn't realize that he was not sent, but he was able to participate in a discussion where I was able to hear out his thoughts in his thought process. Now, I still didn't agree with what he did. I could not change what he did, because the change would have started with him, but I was able to have the conversation. So, sir, why can't you have conversations with people?
Well, I'll tell you why. He showed immense restraint. he or fear of leaving from the heel position. One of the two, but he did not come out of pocket. He was very apologetic and sorry. He would say excuse me when he talked. He would apologize, but the only thing that he stood firm on was, I ain't taking that video down. I ain't taking it down. I'm sorry. I hate you feel this way. I'm not taking this video down. But other than that, he wasn't in any kind of way creating more of an argument in his discussion. He was accepting what you were saying. So like if that's the case, I mean, if you just kicking someone in the nuts, and those are easy conversations. But yeah, it was I think most people, especially people who talk, can become combative or argumentative when their ego is affected. And his ego should have been affected by some of the stuff that he was hearing. But
I don't
the part when Karen told him, no one watches your stuff, sir. Like, I would have had a reaction to that, even though no one watches my stuff. I would have had a reaction. Like, what
okay.
No, either. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going viral every day. What's your problem?
Yo, when I look back at that video the other day, I was like, damn, Karen is so fucking rude.
Oh, Karen was out there hitting them like she was Allen Iverson, crossing them up at the top of the key. Like, he can't stop. He didn't know where it was coming from. Like, what the?
But let me say something to Dandelion. I agree. In watching the replay of that video with Urban, the unofficial hood therapist, I realized how angry I was. And I kept saying to myself, so when I'm looking at myself at that video, I'm saying to myself, I did a lot of reserve for myself, right? Because I wanted to get the answers to my questions and get a better understanding, right? So I stayed focused on what my goal was and to speaking to him. Imagine if I would have been like, motherfucker, I'm going to take your video down, like all that other stuff. Even though there were points when I was saying like, yeah, well, I'm going to have to handle my business the way that I have to handle my business, knowing that I done sat down here and gave people the breakdown as to why that might not happen that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that impresses upon me today, having looked at this video a year later, is who is this dude that was sitting up there with me? And it's creepy to me. And it's creepy to me for this reason and this reason alone. Not that he's been disrespectful to me in any way other than utilizing my stuff, and I still feel raped. And I feel raped more today than I did back then for this simple reason. He was going to school allegedly for what?
Psychology, he said.
Sociology.
Oh, no, sociology, my bad.
That's worse than being psychology. So in my head back then, I'm looking at him as a therapist because I got sidetracked by the word therapist. But his actual goals are sociology. It is crazy because when you look up the meaning of this sociology bullshit, right?
Yeah.
It's daunting. It's scary. It's a lot of things that it shouldn't really be. I wrote it down on the I'm looking at my notes because I want to find it. Because I watched this other lady's video and she was explaining how it's a similar discipline. So this is somebody else in a new community I had never heard of before called the T community. Shut up, Monica. And she's explaining that they are two different disciplines. And she's basically just calling him out too and saying, like, what took you so long, sir, to leave, right? When you're in a discipline that is studying social behavior. And now it makes more sense to me why he claims that he clinged on to that to that video because I was talking about a construct that I thought I made up, which was group think. And I kept saying to him, listen, I don't know what kind of research you're doing. I don't know the level of professionalism you're in. I don't really think it was anything. But, sir, this is me telling you about an experience I'm engaged in. And he's part of the people putting out this shit in motion, basically. Like, it's like I felt when I was rewatching it after I aired it here the other night, then I went back and watched it again. Then I went back, just to let y'all know, unlike other people, I like my shit. I went back and watched the whole 9-hour video to get more context behind it on Friday and Saturday. And I came back with a real violated position that somebody in this cyberspace was actually analyzing me from the inside out, the inside of my platform out. Now, I think he's really capable of that? No, but he started now to look to me like a snitch. He started like to me, and this is just my opinion. Glib, you could take your face off of this if you need me to. I'm looking at him more, and I'm saying to myself, did he alert the feds about the activities of his state gang people? Are they coming in now to do some middle arrest? Why did he defect at this time? When the lady put out that video and was like, why now? But whatever the reason is for your defecting now, I'm glad you've come around. But I'm saying to myself, no, this is somebody doing like behavioral science. Like, this is like that show. What is it? The one that was on Channel 2, CBS. The BEA crime something. Oh God. It's like sure. It's all the FBI people, and they go in and they write these behavioral things. They got the real smart dude. Oh God, what's that crime show? Somebody help me. It's like the BAU.
Behavioral. Yeah, I don't know that show. I'm sorry.
That's not the name of the show. It's like crime something. It was. I used to watch it. I used to watch Law and Order all the time, and then this would be so I watched Law and Order, NCIS, and then there was this crime show where it had all these federal agents, and they go places and they solve crimes, but it's based on the behavior of people. He just struck me like one of those people. Now he's running for group.
And like I listened to that lady's video and listened to her whole video because it was on like 8 minutes long or 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was a good video to listen to.
But in her video, I mean, she's asking a good question where if you're trying to present yourself in this way and you're associated with these people who are doing things that clearly you should be against, why would it take so long to come to that conclusion? You're making videos talking about the behavior that you're saying is wrong. You're making videos talking about bullying and shit like that. But you go over here with these people every day who are doing exactly what you're saying people shouldn't be doing. Like, why did it take so long for you to draw the direct line conclusion, other than, in my opinion, to say that there's a benefit to being here and I'll hang out because I can get the benefit. And when the benefit outweighed the risk, you say, I don't want to do this anymore. Which is what happens in most situations in relationships. You do a cost-benefit analysis and say, yeah, this is not worth it, right? That's the easy conclusion to come to. Like, it's not worth it to do this, so I'll stop. Which, I mean, I guess you should. Well, I think he should, right? So I guess I agree with her because she says, well, he should have stopped.
Well, she's doing the typical black people thing.
But the fact that he stopped is there. I thought it was simple because that lady they keep talking about went legal and he tucked and ran. Hey, how about this, Mo? You said you had said something earlier about how you didn't react and he didn't react. But I've seen you react. I've seen you react. What are your triggers that make you react?
In terms of what?
In terms of going to F off and it not being a productive conversation. Like what makes your conversations devolve into the yelling and screaming and I guess the we've gone beyond having a discussion and a resolution, but just a yelling match.
I think I'm probably in somebody else's space when that has more than likely occurred. Is that not true or no?
I don't.
Oh, okay. So when did you see me go off? You see me go off in my space, or
I've seen you go off a lot. I'm just asking what gets you there.
Okay. Well, the triggers to me would be misinformation and trying to find the simplistic way of explaining it so that all can get it, right? Sometimes I get overwhelmed because I'm like, that shouldn't be my fucking burden. Why am I talking to people that are below me in the first place, that I got to try to educate them on a level that's understandable to them? If I would not associate myself on that level, I wouldn't have those issues to worry about, right? I get frustrated with the talking over people, and I get overly disgusted with the fact that people want to come out and they want to do a whole monologue or a soliloquy on something and think that that's a conversation. Throw out 7 pointers, and then you can only really respond to one, but 6 other things got out the door before you can even discuss it. So it's a lack of effective communication skills and really finding the people that can actually harness an environment so that discussions can take place without getting so involved. So I feel like if I ever have an issue with somebody, like I did with him, the only thing I could do was address him on my platform, show him the utmost respect while he was here, not to agitate it, to get what I needed out of it, and then just move on from it. I moved on from it because, one, I weighed my risk and win column, and look, I get to come out another day and explain why I was right and he was wrong.
Yeah, I think the multiple points made in one portion of the conversation is one of my most frustrating things, because like I can take, if you gave me 10 points and all 10 of them were right, and there was no debate what it was. Like, okay, the Golden State Warriors won the championship last year. There's no debate. There's no problem. Keep going. The Chicago Bulls won it. Wait a minute. The Bulls didn't win that year. And then they said, oh, no, let me finish. Okay, the next year, the Lakers won it. The Lakers didn't win that year. No, let me finish. And then you want to keep saying things that are not accurate. And now I gotta sit here and wait for you to finish saying things that are wrong before I can start talking again and say, wait, now let's go backwards, because you ended on something, right? Because whenever someone ends, that's the point they want you to talk about. But wait, you said a whole bunch of shit that was wrong that got out there, and now people are going to think that shit was right because I didn't say nothing. So
and then when you start talking about, because you said you took them backwards, the person keeps interrupting you to go to that first, that last thing they said.
Last point, which is probably the only thing that they got right. It frustrates me so much. And then they'll say, you're cutting me off. You won't let me finish. Why do you even want to finish saying something that's wrong? How come we can't talk? If I said it's wrong, how come we just can't talk about that? And then that could be the discussion. We can talk about why you think it's right.
I don't want to walk away from, but I do want to end the discussion on the urban unofficial therapist. And I want to say something that I couldn't acknowledge last Wednesday, right? I couldn't acknowledge on Wednesday because I was just revisiting this for the first time, right? But having revisited it, then watched the whole 9 hours video in its entirety that I was dealing with at the time, in addition to his year that's passed, and I've got to see him in the year that's passed, I will say that he stayed consistent to his cause.
Okay.
And so that will be, I don't want that to get missed in this dialogue. He stayed consistent to his cause with the sociology and trying to whatever it was for the black people, for the people as a whole, because that's what sociologists do, right? They study the behavior of people and what it said, human society. So the society that he isolated was the black community. Now, even though we have a problem really like understanding what it is he's saying, when I look at his activities, they you gonna make me laugh. They align with what he said. So if I'm being true to myself, it's just scary that I had that type of person in the mix. And then when you hear Joy's significant other put it in a way where he's saying, yo, nigga, you got like some job. You got a job and working for social services. And now you look, and I'm saying to myself, wait a second. He's actually working in this field as well in the state of Texas, where things are already problematic with how people think and socialize. Like, so all of that compounded leads me to be like, these are dangerous waters being on this internet. Like, this is that, like, that's a, and this is what they said about Kanye, and I'm going to say it about this man. If he had the power to do something, he could probably be detrimental to the people he was engaged with for so long.
Yeah, I can see that. So, now that we're done with that topic.
Yeah, that one's over with.
I'm
closing. I found closure there, and it doesn't matter. He went on radio silence because he's still trying to grow. Hopefully, that's why he went on radio silence. I feel a certain different kind of way about it. I feel like it's gonna be more damaging. Y'all speak on a lawsuit, and I want to say something about that. But where were you gonna go? You know where you was gonna go next?
So there was a topic that I wanted to ask you about, and I kind of mentioned it last night, but I didn't talk about it with you because I wanted you to hear it live. So, and
all right, let me just do the lawsuit thing, and then we could go into that.
Okay.
All right. This is what I want to say, and I put it on my community wall the other day about ex parte things. Okay. Getting an ex parte order from a court, which I normally really only seen these ex parte orders come from domestic violence situations, or what they call now intimate partner, whatever. They got a whole new name for domestic violence, which is intimate partner something. Anyone can easily obtain an ex parte order of protection. The word ex parte is what's important. It means that one of the parties whoever you're accusing of that may inflict bodily harm to you, or the person that you need to be protected from, is normally not present for this ex parte hearing. And what happens is that you just go before a judge and you tell the judge, like, listen, this person threatened to do XYZ to me. This person has been doing this. This is what may have happened as a result of what this person said they were going to do. And, I am in fear for my life and safety, right? And the judge, 99.9% of the time, is going to give you that ex parte order of protection because, one, the judge doesn't want to be faced with, I had somebody come before me and tell me that they were an imminent threat by somebody, and that person ends up killing them before I have that conversation with them, right? So it's ex parte. It means that the judge has believed this person thus far under oath that these things have happened. So now the next step, which is the important step, is that notification. I don't know who she filed against because I didn't go reading into the document, right? I just looked at it and I saw the word ex parte and I decided just to tell people what ex parte meant right off, right? But here's the thing. It's not provable until you get returned to court and you respond to it. Now, if she returns to court under this ex parte and they can prove that the person that she's alleging was harassing her doesn't show but was adequately served, then whatever story she presented to the judge could be believed and may result into a real order of protection, or maybe it doesn't, it's not listed as a temporary, it's not listed as ex parte, but it becomes a temporary order of protection, or some other steps are made. The fact that people have given notice on a public site like this, right? Back in the days when we didn't have the mail system or whatever, people would post a public notice to folks to show up to something.
Yeah.
Even if you don't personally get served, and this is just my friendly advice to people, even if you don't get personally served to show up to something, because the person can't find you to serve you and hit you with that paper, but they can prove that they made a public notice that you would have been privy to. It's equivalent to you not showing up, right? You don't ever want to have in default against you for allegations of those natures or whatever. You always want to go into the courtroom and defend yourself, because she's going to have to prove, or he's going to have to prove, whatever they got in that ex parte order as being fact. The judge only heard it and said there was a reason to be concerned here, and I'm going to bring this back at another date. But if she can go back and say, look, here is me posting it on the internet to say John Brown needs to show up, and I filed something against John Brown, and this should shut John Brown the fuck up, right? If John Brown made a video and said, this bitch got the nerve to serve me over there thinking she gonna serve me, whatever, all she gotta do is come back in court and say he was aware of it, he just didn't show up. It's a public, they made public notice. Y'all made these platforms what they are, and they're going to be weaponized against you at some point. So I don't know, I'm being 100 right now. I don't know who she filed against. Don't tell me they're the lion, because I really don't care who they filed against. I got an idea who she may have filed against, because they all live down there in that Southern Exchange together, right? They all in that same area. And this is what I say to people, right? When you're in the jurisdiction, you should be more careful of your victims.
Listen to this. It's funny. When you start telling your story, it reminded me of, Ken Paxton. He's a Texas Attorney General. He was getting served.
I think I heard.
He was getting served, right? And so they called him at home. Right? So he was like, his wife answers the door, and he's like, she was like, oh, he's not here. And they're like, okay, we'll just wait. So I guess the person is like hanging out around his house, and then I guess the wife goes and gets the truck, pulls it to the back door, and then they tried to jump in the car and do a quick getaway as if that was going to be enough to prevent him from having been properly served, because they didn't put it in his hand. But he had to get an attorney in answer to that, because at that point he couldn't say he didn't know what was going on. So what you're saying is accurate, probably.
Yeah, I'm just saying, that's just me. I'm always trying to
change the conversation. Like, no, okay, you served me, but I shouldn't have to go to court for this. Now we're going to have a different conversation, which is why I shouldn't have to defend myself about this. So.
Well, I just think, I think if someone alleged that I was harassing them in cyberspace or what have you, and I got served with that type of document, which would have my name affixed to it, I'm going to respond to it if I know about it or don't. Like, if I get honestly served or not. I can go into court and argue I was not properly served, but here I am because my name is here and I want my name cleared. Because you can also prove that in court. You could be like, I wasn't properly served. However, I'm here because I want my name off of this and I don't want to default. I forgot. Somebody got a default. I was reading a case. Maybe it was somebody got a default recently. It's in one of these true crime cases where somebody got a default and didn't, because they didn't show up to court, and then it spiraled out of control. It made the person look guilty, but they were never served. The bottom line is most defaults are because people were never served, or people feel that they wasn't served properly enough and they go in, or people lie. People that do the service, they'll say, I served the person because they knew what the person looked like. And they'll say, oh, I served the person at this day on this time or whatever. That's why now you'll see people taking pictures of people when they serve them. Like before, it used to just be like people would throw the paperwork at you, leave it on your door, post it on there. Some jurisdictions allow for different type of service. It doesn't have to be personal service. It could be that you mailed it to the address on file and the person received it. You get a return receipt. So there's all different, it's called the mailbox rules. There are all different kind of mailbox rules into how you can have proper service, but it's whatever the service is that the judge said. Most of the time in domestic violence situations or intimate partner abuse allegations, the court serves it.
You said you was a real one. Are you this real? Let me tell you what the process server said this guy and his wife did. I walked up the driveway approaching Mr. Paxton and called him by his name. As soon as he saw me and heard me call his name out, he turned around and ran back inside the house through the same door in the garage. Angela Paxton, his wife, then exited the house, got inside a Chevrolet truck in the driveway, started it, opened both doors. A few minutes later, I saw Mr. Paxton run from the door inside the garage towards the rear door behind the driver's side. I approached the truck and loudly called him by name. Instead, I had documents for him. Mr. Paxton ignored me, kept heading for the truck, and his wife drove off. Are you that real? That's real. She was like, Bonnie and Clyde, we in this shit together.
Well, you stand by your man. Tammy Wynette. In the words of what's her name? Hillary Clinton.
Oh yeah.
She said I'm gonna be like, stand by your man. Oh goodness. All right, so go ahead. What was the story? Let's get it.
I was on Twitter last night and I saw this clip. I'm not gonna play it. I'm gonna tell you what the lady said. The headline of the article says, Lauren Whiskey says giving women the right to vote was the worst thing that ever happened to America. Lauren Whiskey is a woman. She's a Republican. And she says the worst thing that ever happened to America was giving women the right to vote. During this clip, she says, women used to not vote because their husband would make the choice for them. Now, if just our husbands and landowners were voting, we'd be in a much better place than we are now. We'd have closed borders. We'd have no infringements on Second Amendment rights. Red flag laws would be a thing of the past. And we as women wouldn't have such authority and power over who gets into elected office because we don't deserve it. That is a quote from this crazy ass lady. And this is a lady who also ran for the U.S. Senate. And I wonder, like, how does a woman who is trying to be in a position of power, of one of 100, there's only 100 senators, one of 100, to get to vote on the laws that are created in our country, also feel that women should not have the right to vote? It's insane to me. Republicans are insane.
So your question to me is,
what do you think about women not having the right to vote? And that's what's ruining America. Women.
All right. Based on what you read there of her statement, does she? So when I hear it, this is what I'm hearing. Women shouldn't have the right to vote. Their husbands should vote for them, right? So she's a married woman. So what I'm hearing her say that when you get married and you're a woman, then you should give up your right to vote and let your husband vote on your behalf. Okay, that's fine for the married woman. If that's the scenario she wants to pull out, I'm a single woman. I am not married. No man has chosen to marry me and make me his take me in as his, right? So therefore I should be entitled to my vote because I'm a single woman in her scenario. And guess what would happen to her in that scenario? The single women would outweigh her because she's already waived her right to vote. If I was to listen to her, she's already waived her right to vote because she's acquiesced and gave it to her husband, and he's going to vote on her behalf. So right now she is employing or trying to reach the single women for their vote because she just eliminated a whole population to call the married woman. This is why I honestly think married women need to shut the fuck up a lot of the time because they always be talking about something, something they don't... They believe that they're in a better place because a man has chosen to marry you and they feel dominant over other women. And they always say the craziest, damnedest things in the guise of, I'm a married woman. So I think women should have the right to vote. I feel that everyone should have the right to vote. I feel that incarcerated individuals may have given up their right to vote during incarceration, but when they are back into society, that they have a right to a vote because you've got to be in it to win it. And if you're living in a society that you have no voice in, how it's governed, then you're not going, everything is a buy-in. You're not going to have a buy-in in its result. Like maybe you went to jail and maybe you paid your debt to society during that time. And maybe this is the opportunity that you'll come out and be a meaningful person in society. It means being fully accounted for and your voice being fully heard. And until we get to a state where people believe that their voice is being considered at the table, you will always have people trying to disenfranchise it.
Yeah, I think it's such a regressive thought to say we need to go back to what it was before. Like if you say like, and not to talk about Money Boy Trey, but this is a video that he did. This is, I don't know when he first came out, right? But this is a video that I saw on his page that I was going to do a commentary on, but chose not to.
Okay, wait, stop. So this whole thing with this lady comes from something over there?
No, this whole thing. I saw this last night, but it reminded me of a thought that I had from a video that he made many years ago that I didn't talk about. So in the video, I'm not sure if I saw it on his Facebook page, wherever I saw that. This is when he first started coming around, because we had people in common because we both watched Tommy. So there were people in common that he talked to on his page that when he started coming around, I was like, oh, I recognize these people from the stuff that they do on YouTube. I didn't know him, but you know what I'm saying? It becomes 6 degrees separation. But one of the guys who he had on his page was someone who was on Tommy's page a lot, was a person who they made in their video, they talked about how the 19th Amendment should be repealed. And women didn't need the right to vote. If you didn't own land, you didn't have the right to vote. You shouldn't have the right to vote. My argument in the video was both of these guys probably don't own land. Right? So they're going against their own interests in even saying this. And that's how I feel about this woman. She's a woman. So to stand there and say women shouldn't vote, well, you're eliminating yourself when you say that. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me that someone would do it unless the means is what you want. You just want your side to win, even if you lose.
But again, what I pointed out to you, based on what you read, she said, it sounds like she was saying married women shouldn't have the right to vote because their husband voted for them. Like, she didn't specify, even though you're saying she said women shouldn't have the right to vote. When digging down into into her thought about it or her position on it, she speaks only to the woman who is married.
Well, that is a fact. But in her statement, she says, if just our husbands and landowners were voting, well, if the law said that you had to be a landowner to vote, everyone who wasn't a landowner also wouldn't be able to vote. So all of the men who are married to women that lived in apartments, no vote. Right, for either one of you. Right now, you're both just. And his argument was, you don't have any skin in the game. This guy, he was saying, well, you don't have any skin in the game if you don't own land. Well, that's not necessarily true. There's not enough land for everybody to own some, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not enough. So, or at least inhabitable land anyway. So that argument falls flat on me, but it is a way to exclude the people who they don't want to vote, which would be the majority, because the majority of people don't own land. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So I think that the minority of people in power with wealth would absolutely love it if they could make all the decisions without us, without the people who are the minorities, without women, without people who don't own land. Like, they would absolutely would prefer that it was just them making the decisions. But I think that when they convince people who don't own land or women to say that that's how things should be, they absolutely trick them to vote against their best interests because they want their side to win. I don't know if she really believes this shit or not. She's probably just saying it because she wants to get the right wing to get behind her, because they will. She said it. But I thought you would have an interesting opinion about that. But I didn't think about it in your way, that the women would still get a vote. It would just be through their husband, as opposed to the single woman who doesn't get a vote at all.
Yeah. Who may not get a vote at all. All right, so we're at the 19th Amendment, being women's suffrage.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have this thing on my phone. That's the Constitution.
Yeah.
I have a whole app for the Constitution because sometimes I have to look it up at work. Okay, so it's the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. So when we come down to sex right now, we're saying it's interesting because now we're saying everybody can vote. The he's, the she's, and the we's, they all can vote, right? Because, we got a whole subsection calling themselves everything underneath the sun, or maybes or whatever. But everyone has a right to vote. And I think that everyone should have a say in government. Everyone that is free to have a say in government. And remember, at this point in time, the only people that are allegedly forfeiting their freedom are those who have been found guilty of an act against the state or the state or the United States of America. So that would be a federal crime or a local crime, a state crime. So I don't. That's an interesting take. That's her position on it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't. I vote on principles. When I vote on I vote on the person's what I perceive to be the person's record and what I believe they may bring for me. So I vote on issues. I vote on, I don't vote party lines per se. I happen to be in the state of New York, where I had this unique thing called the Working Families Party. I generally vote that line, so I don't have to vote Republican or Democrat. But what I am being disappointed in right now when it comes down to them is that they are not presenting a slate anymore of their own people. They're really just re-endorsing people that are on the Democratic ticket right now in New York. That's what I see. They used to bring forward their own candidates, and you would find that in very, very small percentages do they ever present now their own candidate. But Cuomo tried to take them out during his administration as governor. I never understood it, but I was removed from New York because I moved to New Jersey, so I had stepped away from New York politics for a minute.
See, the third party works like in Georgia where they have a majority rule. The third party can work. You know what I'm saying? You can say, well, it throws the election off. We'll have to do a runoff in order to get to the final answer. But at least the people can see where the pull is. Right now, like when the independents are absorbed into the Democrats in the Senate, it's just the Democrats now, and the independents are trying to get their voice to become louder, but it's difficult. It's difficult for that to happen. It's difficult to even see that they're not Democrats, that they're so like that. The Workers' Party that you're talking about in New York, they got absorbed because you guys probably don't have a runoff or a majority of 50%. So
that's not that's not how that's constructed. They were so unions back the working parties thing. So that's like our DC 37, our BJ, the big unions that are here in New York, the TWA, or the Transit Authority, might not be TWA, the Transit, our big unions, our police unions, and so on. They're the working party. They're the people that work. So they put forth a slate of candidates that they endorse as the party. So
are they Democrats or are they another political party?
They are the working party.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm
they
saying.
Consist of. I just told you what they consist of. They consist of they consist of union organized unions here in New York State. Because I want to say state because Cuomo tried to take it out by saying you must present these many people seats or whatever. You have to have this much voting on that line to maintain that line. So if you want to call it the independent line, because the independent line stands there too in and of itself, and when they're there as the independent line, oddly enough, they normally are endorsing members that come from out of the conservative party here in New York. So it could be Republicans or it could be somebody that's truly more conservative, because remember, in New York State as a whole, we're divided in two divisions. With downstate, they consider New York, so the 5 boroughs, New York, Manhattan. Well, Manhattan is New York. Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island as being downstate. But we've got the biggest population in this one thing, in this one concentration. So our vote definitely carries the it carries the state. Yeah. But when it comes down to who runs our state, it's a Republican ran state up in Albany, because the counties, they outnumber us county by county in the state, and the counties lines are drawn by Republicans.
So what I was saying was that, like, that third party, whoever those people are, right? That third party, if they're not part of the two major parties, they pull votes from one or the other. So if there's not a runoff election where you do it again, the only thing that happens is that if let's say those people are typically Democrats, right? And they're 10%. The Democrats would have 50%, but because 10% goes to them, the Democrats are now 40%. And the Republicans could win, and then there wouldn't be a runoff because they would have pulled from the Democrats. So in Georgia, they kind of resolved that by having a runoff. But if you don't have a runoff, it eliminates that voice. Those people can't really, they have to get absorbed into one or the other in order for their voice to be really matter, because they'll just cause the side they want to win to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like if those people are liberal, but they're a third party. They'll take from the liberals and cause the Republicans to win.
Okay. So let me give you a little diagram here.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the Democrats. Oh, man.
Uh-oh. We in extreme Zoom mode now.
This is going to be the Republicans, but the problem is that I can't draw with the mouse. And this
Yeah.
is going to be the working party.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So now listen. We can't divide it like that, what you just said. If we went to 40% here, 50% here, and 10% here, the names that are here in this category are these same people, which means that as the person gets their vote, they would still get 50%. Because the working party is endorsing one of the candidates from either of these parties that they feel is going to be in the best interest of the working party.
Okay. So they get behind one of either a D or a R, and then their people go over there to vote. They're not a third party, but they
could in years past. They normally presented a slate of candidates that could have included. So, like in the category of mayor, they may represent this mayor right here. But in their working parties, when you get down to the judges, they may have different judges that are on the Democratic side or the Republican side. So they put together a slate of people for you to run again, for you to vote for.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So in this case, you might get a runoff because it's still going to be 50-50.
Do y'all have runoffs in New York, or do you got? Or is it
not really? Because right now we're instituting, other than the presidential election, we're doing something now called ranking.
Oh, yeah.
So you're ranking your So the way we got the mayor this time was by the rank system. So if you rank somebody a certain number and then that person falls off as the low end, then they go to your second rank and they give all the votes over there, and if that person falls on the low end. So they doing the ranking system.
Yeah. The ranking is really screwing people up because they don't read instructions.
Well, it's a new way to vote, and when you have people disjointed from the information, how the information is being disseminated, then you have a problem. See, when I was coming up in the political stance of in New York, right, we have different places where you would meet the people that elect you, where you meet them at. So senior citizens, you would meet them in senior citizen houses and stuff like that. Senior citizen centers, places where they congregate in their churches, and you would explain the process to them there. Yeah. Like, so that's how people were getting educated where they are at. Some people get educated, where they work. Majority of New Yorkers, once upon a crime, all worked for the city. So those big unions, I'm talking about DC 37, 32BJ, these are the ones that would get the information out to their voters, how to vote, what is changing. So the education would come from the groups you support. But now that we are disjointed, this pandemic is not going to help us because we're not socially congregating in large congregation. We're not doing that no more. We're doing it a different way. So,
because I know Alaska did it for their Congress, for their congressional special election, and the Republicans told their candidates or their electors not to rank anybody, to just put down the one, which
hurts them.
It causes them to lose. It's like it doesn't. And because they didn't explain it well to the people. They lost. Well,
some people feel that way too. Some people say, like, listen, I'm all in for my one person. But again, when you change the rules of the game, you've got to make sure the players understand the new rules.
Yeah. So definitely you got to pay attention to what's going on, or you're going to get the results you didn't want, which is what happened. Well, actually, it didn't happen. The people got what they wanted because she won the election twice. So if you win the election twice and they told you that you messed up the first time, I guess that's who the people want.
Mm. Well, you know, it's interesting. You follow this politics like you're more in tune to it than I am, and I only can speak to it from my limited position of being here in New York, right? I can't even speak to you about the politics in New Jersey because New Jersey is Republican based with a Democratic rulership, which is interesting by itself. But the reason why is that the counties are Republican.
Yeah.
And I was telling somebody in my office the other day, I was like, yeah, where you live at, I guess you registered as a Republican. So he said to me, no, I'm registered as a Democrat. Why would I register as a Republican over there? I said, oh, because when shit breaks in your house and you want people to do something or act a certain way for you, you're going to need them Republicans to back you. I was like, no one knows who you vote for when you get in the booth, right? Only way that hurts you is for the primary. But no one knows who you voted for to get into the booth. And most of Jersey, honestly, they do not have Democrat and Republican primaries. They just have a primary. So both of them be listed there. You just go in and vote your person. So no one knows how you vote, but people know how you select. And if you're in those, like if you're in Bergen County or some of those counties, you need to be registered as a Republican.
That's terrible. So that shouldn't even matter.
No, it does. It does matter if if that county is Republican dominated and you chose with your Democratic ass to go move into this. So what I'm saying, if you chose to be a minority and move into a place where the majority of the people are Anglo-Saxons and biased, but you want to live there because you've earned that money, you can buy that type of house and whatever, then you've got to be fully invested in playing all of their games. And that's one of the games. One of those games would be you register as a Republican, but you vote as you wish.
Well, I was going to register as a Republican just so I can vote against the crazy. But I'm independent.
The unfortunate part about being an independent, so like in New York, if you are independent, when the primaries come around, you have no say. Unless there's a candidate on the independent ticket, you have no say. So that's a disadvantage. So that's why, but I had to show my daughter that the hard way.
Yeah.
Because she had to be like, why I didn't get a ballot? I was like, because you're not a Democrat or a Republican.
Yeah. This ain't your business.
Well, I know people here because we know how the game plays out here in New York, right? I know a lot of people who are registered as Republicans so that they keep that Republican count down. Because when they go in for their primary, they vote for the underdog. They give more of the votes down for the underdog. It's a game. Like, if you understand the rules of anything, you can manipulate it for everything.
Correct.
And when the general election comes along, again, the ballot is going to say Republican and Democrat names the same. And you're going to be able to vote however you want to vote. But that's just a strategy. I can't teach strategy to dummies. It's like you just can't.
Did you have another topic you wanted to talk about?
Let me see. Brittany, Miss, I've been in. I finally got. We were in sports, so I guess we can.
Oh yeah, Brittany. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's been moved to a colony.
Yeah. The penal colony.
And people is like, we don't know where she's at. She's in jail.
Yeah.
So, the comment that came out was something to the effect. Maybe you'll pull up the actual quote from Sir James. But is that what he's called, Sir James? That just came off. That sounds familiar. King James. Oh, really?
He's yes.
Yo, y'all stealing everything around here.
They've been King James for 20 years.
No, I'm talking about somebody's husband.
Oh.
Man, you can't. Like, you can't. Really? See, this is why I know I don't be sleeping with you guys in my head. I don't be sleeping with y'all. Okay, but so basically he just what did he say? He said like she should not want to come back to America after this.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember he said something like that.
And I was like, but I kind of understand what he's saying because they left her there. Listen, yeah. Did they tell her to smoke weed?
No.
Suck on weed, whatever that shit weed, vape weed. Did they tell her to do that over there? But no. He's also mad at the institution that he works for being a top paid dog on there, right? Y'all suck up. You know, like this is so to me, it's hypocrisy because these are the people at the top.
Okay. Explain.
Right. Oh, I gotta write this. I gotta write something down.
Because like
I was about to go on.
I'm gonna let you feel while you write your thought down. He has an area of influence, right? And he has a result that he wants, but he doesn't have the power to manipulate the system to get the result that he wants. He doesn't have the power.
What are the results that you think he may want?
He believes that they should go get her and bring her back.
Okay, here's the problem with that, right? In the construct that he's in, right? So why was she over there?
She's over there to play basketball.
For what purpose? To make money, right? They are eating up the male side of the league, right? Because they've been around and established or whatever. They got all the money. So when the women are doing the same thing, right? They're not making the same amount of money. So all she was over there doing was trying to make the money. Can you make the money happen here in the U.S. so they don't have to do that in the first place? But you've got basketball players right now that's in the NBA or could have been in the NBA who are doing the same thing. They're playing abroad because they could get more money up there so y'all got to change the funding strategy. But that would go into his pocket. How much is he willing to take out of his pocket to make their pockets heavier?
LeBron James, I think he's making $50 million this year to play basketball. Right? I think he's getting paid $50 million. And I don't think he's going to give a penny of it to the WNBA. He's already given up enough. The WNBA is wholly funded by the NBA. Like the NBA, like other than the sponsors that are external to the NBA, the NBA has a portion of their profit that goes towards funding that organization because the organization is not profitable. And while women's basketball is something that should be invested in, and it should be something that, like, I'm not saying it should go away in America, but it's not something that's extremely popular to where it can fund itself. And until it's self-sufficient, the people who play it don't necessarily have the argument that they should get paid more. You know what I'm saying? Like every organization is kind of in a losing position in regards to profit because they're not making money.
But that's why she was over there, to make money. So the bottom line is, if she's mad and don't want to come back over here and he can understand it, it has to do with the system that he's a part of that she can't get her fair take out of.
But what's her
when it comes down, whatever it was that she felt she needed to go over there to make more money? Because it's like the same thing. I could love my job, right? Mm-hmm. But if I see a job posting doing the same thing that I love to do at my current job for more money, I'm more likely to go take that risk of doing that.
Why do you think they pay more money for women's basketball in Russia?
So that they can arrest them for smoking marijuana and throw them in penal colonies and have the U.S.
I don't understand, right? Think about this, right? In America, the women, like when they first started doing women, like they were making like $30,000-$40,000 a year. Like that was at the high. Now they're up into the hundreds, right? But the women would go overseas. They would go overseas to play basketball because they couldn't make any money here. It's the opposite in America. The men play basketball here and go overseas when they can't make money here anymore. Why is it that they will pay more for women's basketball over there What is it so exciting for them?
I have no idea because I do not, I do not follow women's basketball. I was not following basketball until earlier this year when I
Oh
got my new
yeah, yeah. We
booty.
know about your basketball.
So
We know what kind
I
of basketball you be watching.
they,
The Brooklyn Nets getting beat down. The
basketball.
Brooklyn Nets getting beat down. Well, they're getting a little better now. They beat what did they beat the other day? They beat Portland. They beat Portland the other day, which is a good game.
I don't know. I haven't I'm a girl, right? So here's the traditional timing that women get involved in basketball in my line of being a woman, right? Because I'm not
Uh,
all into this. This is still well, football season's over. But there's college football, whatever. We got rivalries going on at the job about. Well, no, football season is not over because the football game will be it. But this is football season, right?
mhm.
Um, so we got football going on. Basketball just started like 2 months ago, maybe. Yeah, sometime late September, October. I remember writing it down that it was starting because I was realizing that that's when somebody's attitude is probably going to change around me. So I just need to pinpoint when I might not be able, might when somebody might not be as available to me as I need them to be. It's because of the game. So I'm not gonna worry about it. That's why I could come back to the internet and mess with y'all now because the basketball season is on. Right. But after we get to the what is it, the All-Star game, I'm all in. That's
Well,
when I settle down, pick my team, join in, whatever. So this is,
that's the good part of the season. Everybody's warmed up. You know what I'm saying? They're ready to go.
yeah, that's as soon as we get to the halftime, that's when you see all these dick riding chicks come joining in, whatever. I guess I don't know what people really say. I wanted to start the season doing whatever he did, but then I thought about it and I was just like, I don't have I said this before, I don't have the spirit for it because these players are really young to me. So I don't feel the same way about the
Yeah.
um it doesn't fix my fancy. And maybe football, I'm a little bit more into it because I really can't see their faces because they still got like helmets on and stuff like that. But when they go to the interview, I just don't look at the guys. I just be on the thing. I'll be like, there goes my guy, whatever. Like, it is what it is. I'm
That
one
is
of those.
interesting. That is interesting. Um, I don't. Well, I guess I kind of look at it like that too. For women, like women's sports, I guess maybe. I don't know how. I know what. I don't think. Nah, volleyball. Maybe volleyball. Might be like.
Yeah, but when do you watch volleyball? You watch that for the regular or you just watch
Oh
it
no,
during the
no, Olympics. Olympics.
Olympics,
They
right?
don't
Yeah.
do-
Oh, I love the summer. I love the summer Olympics. I've never gotten into the winter Olympics, but it's because I ran track and fit.
Hmm.
So I love the whole summer Olympic thing, but I haven't really been that intimate with it. Like watching it, like I wouldn't be able to tell you anybody's real name.
Mhm.
Uh, that's running. Even though I do frequently, I will find you will watch me watching a 4x100 relay or something, and I get that feeling like sometimes when I just get nostalgic about it, and I'll be like, "Dumb bitch, you used to run like fast." So like,
You ready to get out there again?
sometimes I be feeling like that. Sometimes I go to the tracks over here where I've always went, but right now the tracks are in terrible condition over here. They need some repair jobs on it. But I walk it, but a lot of times I can't be in these spaces over here because they bring back a lot of memories for me.
Yeah. What do you think about the Shakari Richardson? You know what I'm talking about? The girl that got in trouble because she failed the drug test. Should have went to the Olympics.
She didn't go to the Olympics because she failed the drug test. and
Yeah.
then now she's running, and then she running her best game. She's doing
Oh,
whatever.
oh yeah, yeah. She's doing pretty good this season. But she's very flamboyant. I don't know if you've seen what she look like, but she's very flamboyant.
I seen her. That's what sells, and that's what Nike likes right now. So she just
Yeah.
gotta stay that course.
I,
Who
I
who
okay.
people need to look at in this sports world is maybe they need to look at the Williams sisters to see how they uh n-
Were able to
uh
brand themselves so they can have longevity.
yes, even though their bodies, like, they should not have been playing all the way into this length of time that they've been playing um the game of tennis, right?
Mhm.
But how they market themselves right now, every time I see a Serena video, it's so focused on the fact that she's getting a divorce
Serena's getting divorced?
or she's separated. Is it which way that
No,
way?
no.
It's
Serena Venus was dating some guy, but she broke up. She was dating some billionaire thing. But Serena is
who had
she
the baby
Serena had the baby and
with
she
the
retired
white guy, right?
with the white guy.
Yeah, I think I saw something about. Well, let me not spread. Let me leave. Let me leave that shit up to my cousin. She be doing the celebrity shit. I don't know nothing about them. I thought I saw something about her getting a divorce in my feed, or him separating, or her moving out the house. But it could be that junk email too.
I don't
It could
know.
be that junk stuff that she's moving out of the house. She had to move out of the house or whatever.
Hmm, that would be terrible.
But the
Um,
little clips I seen with her daughter are so cute.
yeah, like I was you know what I was going to talk about her in the summer when she retired because it was kind of unfortunate the letter that she wrote where she says, you know, because I'm a woman, I can't play as long as I want to play at the level I want to because I have to be a mother. Like that's something that's really motivating for her. So in order to be a mother, she has to stop playing. She's got to take, you know, over a year to, you know, have a baby.
Sounds like she's having another baby, or the one that she had.
Yeah, she wants to have another baby. She wants to have another baby.
Oh,
So that's why
okay.
she's retiring. And so that was, I felt like it was kind of a sad letter because it was like, she obviously feels like she's got more left in the tank to play, but she can't have a kid forever. So she wants to have a baby. She's got to stop. So that's
Mm.
kind of sad. And obviously it's unfair because LeBron James is going to get to play for another, you know, 5 more years if he doesn't get hurt, you know, and nothing's going to stop him. His wife keep having kids and it doesn't impact him at all.
I don't know, because then I have to go to the movie that I love the most,
What's
Love
that?
and Basketball.
Oh.
She seems to have had a baby and still playing, and you know how it ends at the end of the whatever. Serena
Yeah.
waited too long to
Yeah.
live this out. You understand? She could have did this in the earlier stages of her life, but she wasn't even married. Like, she didn't have the relationships or whatever it was that she had, because having a child and having a husband, she's at an advantage that most women are not at. So
Yep.
she could still have pursued that. The bottom line is, bitch, you getting old with it. You getting old with it. And the young, so you trying to tell me you gonna go out there and be able to take on these young, they not only didn't she lose, let's just be
Oh,
honest,
yeah, no, yeah, yeah. So she had after she had
they
her
whipped your
baby,
ass, woman.
they caught up. So she was still up there, but they caught up to her. She had to take a year off. They caught up to her, and she had another baby. She come back now. She be in her mid-40s. She gonna go out there and get her ass kicked. It's probably not worth it to go out there to experience what she's gonna experience.
Right. That's a lot. That's a lot of work. So shout out to her. I think that she was also able to brand herself, and she can re-evolve in a different way. She could be a coach. You understand? She's got, and that
Selling
might not
clothes.
be what.
She's selling clothes. They're doing fashion. Her and her
Yeah.
daughter. They she's
Well,
doing
I'm saying, if you like the job so much,
yeah,
you know, you like the task, because this was,
it is
it is
definitely
what
a
it is.
challenge.
I think it was a rough year for them, though. Will Smith with the knockout or slap down or whatever it is, and the name, the movie, the whole highlighting of their career and stuff, and then to end it with you retiring. Like this was, I think they wrote the script better than it played itself out. It would have been a phenomenal year. You would have seen the Williams movie. Will Smith did a great job. Like it just seemed like everything.
I haven't seen that movie. I still haven't seen it.
Oh, it's a good movie. I would have. Well, let me. It was good for what it presented. The way that it rolled out, its messaging and stuff. I think it was appropriate for the time they were in.
I may have to check it out today. What are you cooking for Thanksgiving before I jump off here?
Ooh. Let me see. Whatever my daughter wants to eat. So we are going to have ham this year because she wants. So that's our big ticket meat item. It's gonna be ham this year. I don't think I'm gonna do the collard greens if I don't get any assistance with it, because the years since we've been back here with my dad and he gave me how to make it, that shit I was making, I'm sure somebody was like, T is at the point of no, you're not gonna she's like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck greens those was you make, lady, but those are not my grandpa's greens. He taught you how to make them. You should be able to make them. So if I don't work with my dude in order to accomplish that, and I don't know what his plans are for Thanksgiving. So if I don't get him to stay with us for Thanksgiving, then we won't be having it because I won't compromise. And he's a cooker. He's a definite cooker. That's the one thing I really appreciate about him. He's a cooker. All right, so then I'm gonna make Spanish rice because that's who I am. And what is the other thing? She wants candy yams because that's her favorite, and the rice. And I think so. It's not a large meal. And plus, they going. T's going to her friend's family house, so they eat over there.
So you're not gonna be just gluttonous and just cook a whole bunch of stuff.
How the fuck no? You seen the prices of food right now? Can you imagine? Like I know a lot of families are having. There's variety for a reason, right? So some people are gonna have lasagna. Some people. I have to make a banana pudding because
I bought my bananas yesterday. I'm making banana pudding today.
I have to make the banana pudding. I was just gonna buy my girl whatever her name is, Patti LaBelle's sweet potato pie. I already had it on the dome that I was picking up 2 of those from Walmart.
Like I'm doing my banana pudding today just because I didn't want to waste. So you know how like you cook all this stuff on Thanksgiving and then it's a waste, right? But I want banana pudding, so I'm gonna make it today. I'll eat it today and tomorrow, and then I'm gonna make sweet potato pie, and then I'll eat sweet potato pie Thanksgiving.
Well, I let everybody pick their favorite side or whatever it is. So somebody has banana pudding as their favorite, so that's that. And that's about it, because I think the ham is going to be the big deal. I haven't even bought it yet. I have to go out to BJ's to get the ham, because the one at ShopRite was like $20-something and it was a baby. It was like puny ham. So I'd rather go to BJ's and get super ham for $20 or $30, than have baby ham for $15. And plus the one at BJ's is going to be spiral, so it's already fucking cut.
Oh yeah, that's a good one to get.
It's like I don't have to be doing no extra work.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm not gonna cook a lot this year. I think I'm gonna try to take it easy. But I think I might spread it out over a greater period of time, like because I like the different meats that you have on Thanksgiving. So I think I might do. You know what I'm saying? Like we got smoked turkey. I'm not smoked, but a fried turkey for Thanksgiving. But I might do like a roast today and do like baked potato or not baked, but mashed potatoes and some green beans, something like that. And then,
but isn't that interesting? Like, do you have a different set meal for your Thanksgiving dinner opposed to your Christmas dinner opposed to your New Year's dinner?
New Year's is definitely different than the other
Don't tell
two.
me you got black eyed peas up in
I
there.
do do black eyed peas, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Oh, listen, I made a black eyed pea soup. It is so delicious. It's so delicious. Oh man, I made it like 2 3 weeks ago. Oh man, it was so good. It was so good.
So then, what do you have for your Christmas dinner?
Christmas
It looks like Thanksgiving.
Christmas is a lot like Thanksgiving.
I hate the people that
That's
do
how it was
that.
when I grew up. But my mom. So growing up, my mother would cook. I mean, she would cook so much stuff. It'd be lasagna and ziti and turkey and ham and a roast, and it was like it was all these different things to choose from. So you just eat everything. So I think instead of just doing all that stuff for that one meal, because you only have so many days to eat it, you got to throw it away. So I'm like, and I'm still gonna have all those same things. I'm just gonna spread it out over maybe more of a period of time, so I don't waste too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I mean, I guess I could cook it all Thursday, but I'm just not. Just not. But I still want all the food. So Thursday,
I want to show you a video. Go ahead. I'm looking through my playlist, right? No, not my playlist, through my content. Because there was one year I cooked on this YouTube
Mhm.
and I found the video. Oh, I know how I found it easy. So there was one year I did a Thanksgiving video. Thanksgiving is one of the only holidays that I really do study. I did practice, and that's because it's just one of my favorites. But
Yeah.
hold on a second. It's like, all right, I'm gonna. Oh God, this is the one I wanted to do. Hold on. What is this considered, Gleb, when it's a YouTube page? That's a web page.
Yeah, that's a browser.
That's a browser. All right, hold on a second, because we about to we. This is why sometimes I need you in my head. This is a browser, so let me just go to talk about something else while I go looking for
But
it.
you could do it. You could do it with the window capture too, which is probably easier way to do it with the window capture. So look, I saw this meme yesterday, right? The meme was like white people's Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, right? But for me, they had roasted turkey. For black people,
Hold on a second. I hear something in my ear. I'm trying to get rid of it. Hold on. I hear the sound of the video. All right, go ahead.
All right. So for white people's Thanksgiving dinner, they just had roast turkey. For black people's Thanksgiving dinner, they had smoked turkey, baked turkey, fried chicken, catfish, roast beef, chitlins, smoked ham, honey baked ham, country ham, ribs, barbecue, and pork. That's just the meat. Like it's funny to me. Like it's the list for white people is like 10 items. The black people's list is like 2 pages. It just keeps going on.
It just keeps going and going.
And as I'm watching, I'm like, well, that's kind of true. Like, but when you said lasagna for Thanksgiving, like when I got married, like my mom, we had things lasagna every year. And my ex-wife, we went there, and she was like, lasagna for Thanksgiving. I'm like, yes, like lasagna. Absolutely. There's gonna be lasagna there and baked ziti. Right? those are separate. So I think I'm in line with this long as black people's Thanksgiving dinner menu.
No, it can't be a browser source. You know why? Because it asks you for the URL for the browser. Hold on. It could be no, it could be. Hold up. You right, it could be. I could be, I'm a little wrong here. Let me just go over here and grab it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm here. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on YouTube to see that you're halfway there. Now, see, I don't use the browser source, but if you use the browser source, you can manipulate it through OBS, which is a good thing. But
okay, hold on a second. Are you seeing that over there?
I can see that.
I can see it.
You just added the browser.
Yeah, but hold on. I need to go back now to that source. I probably shouldn't have done that. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's definitely the video.
Good morning.
I can hear it a little bit.
You can hear it too? Okay. That's interesting.
I'm involved in a lot of shit today.
I wonder why it came up. over there like that. Shit bothers me. It's somewhere. I got it somewhere else. The same video.
Okay. Good morning and welcome to my nose.
But now I can't fast forward that because I don't know where the source of that is at.
Oh, you have to fast forward it inside of the window in OBS.
I know, but I can't. No, not inside the window of OBS.
When you do a browser like that, yeah. That's why I don't use it. But yeah, you do it from inside of OBS.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So how come I'm clicking on it and it's not doing anything?
I don't know.
Our environment.
I don't know. I think that's how it's supposed to work. That you can do it from inside the browser, inside that window there.
Good morning, Sam. I'm gonna move it.
Yeah, but you see, I'm clicking in it and I'm not getting anything.
This is not gonna be a cook what you got. It's gonna be chatting with.
I'm just messing up stuff.
Getting my shit together.
Yeah, I normally do a window capture, and that's probably the reason why I do it.
Yeah, that's probably the reason why you do that. So hold up a second. You know me, I easily delete something around here. Boom. All right, but that's the video. But I'm gonna do it a different way. I'm gonna do it like the ghetto way I always do it. I just hate to see all of this extra information on there. But hold up. Yeah. So this is the video. So let me just bring it over here on top of me. But this was me back then.
Oh, Mo.
This was me in the kitchen cooking. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
You would do that again this year?
Huh?
You gonna cook again this year?
No, I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm not. I'm not interested in being nice. I remember after this video, people was like, "Oh, you could do an IKEA thing," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing nothing around y'all. I'm so over y'all. Ain't even funny." But this was me in that video. I wonder why this is so stretched out like that when we over here. This is so interesting to me. But like it looks so panoramic view. But this was me one day just in the kitchen up in here cooking. Let me look in those cabinets when I open those cabinets.
Oh.
Wait a second. Let me just, you see this organized world of mine?
I like the backsplash. I need one of them.
Yeah, that was in my Harlem apartment. Like, that's why I was like, yo, these people, they ain't doxed me over here. Like, they don't even talk about these spaces because they don't want to, have that conversation. But they want to make up some false shit. Notice I don't got no for the rat lady. Notice I don't got no rats running around on top of my my shit.
Who's the rat lady? Wait.
Well, let me do it let me just use their words. Roach hole. I ain't got no roach in no cereal bowls running around my countertops. Oh, so I must have been making something that I needed the pineapple juice. So I probably was. I'm looking at my ingredients back here. This is when I used that other streaming platform. No, that must have been for the ham because that looks like that's thing. And then I went in here and I talked. So I was back and forth in the kitchen cooking on a live one year. So. Because I'm not saying look up here. Look up here. See my Patti LaBelle pies?
Oh yeah.
They're inside the cake. They're inside the cake thing. I got the little ones and the big one. Let me see. Yeah, so I was making my rice or whatever, but I came in here several times and I cooked throughout it and I opened up cabinets and
you giving the people too much.
Well, but you know what? This not a video that they went and made no videos about. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't go make it. Oh, look, I done fucking went outside. Wait a second. You be to tell me I went to the store. I went to the store on them. No, that looks like, did I go to the supermarket? I must have played other video.
Maybe I just wish that it was a little more different. The environment was different to where you could share and you could, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't just like if you did something, they'd be like, it wouldn't be a positive. It will only be 100% a negative.
I'm sitting here eating. this part right here, I'm eating. So I must have finished cooking. Huh?
Were you at IKEA? I can't. Oh, well, there you go, eating. I'm a little bit behind you because I'm looking at it on YouTube to see what you're showing.
Yeah. Oh, because you can't see it on the. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's all good.
But yeah, that's. I took my plate to the table. I told Eric Brown I would replay this video, but some part of me said, "Don't replay nothing, girl. Bye." But this is, look at this. This is another 10-hour video. Like, cause I remember the hate I got.
Wait. This is all one video?
This is one video. I cooked that day. And I ate my food and I talked on a live. And then when I finally shut it down, I got emails from people talking about, you had a lot of nerve to stay on the live all day. You took the whole time. I was like, I ain't tell y'all not to go live.
How are you going from your computer to your phone?
How did I do? I was using a different streaming software at that time. I was using something called Light something. I gave it to all of y'all. It was free once upon a crime, but I was the only one using it because you could use your computer or you could use your phone. I loved that program actually, but nobody really, I never did what they traditionally did over here. I always tried to find, but I like that software. I wish I could use it still, but then they put a price on it.
Yeah, well, they can keep that.
And it was like $40. I was like, girl, you better learn how to use OBS. I mean, I like what I did today because now I know as soon as I'm done with you, how I'm going to do this little space over around here. I'm probably going to go back into the Michael thing and I'm going to do one of those moving animated things because I've been wanting one of those on my thing.
The stingers?
Yeah, and plus I want the background to be more black than like we are right now. I want to be centered around black like that and then be able to put stuff up. I don't want to be the whole screen, but I have to look at it and see what it's like. But I appreciate that you took the time to talk to me this morning.
Yeah, this was interesting. I learned something today.
What did you learn? What was the thing you learned?
Well, I learned that
about an ex parte
changed. Oh yeah, I leave on about ex parte. No matter how much things change, they stay the same. And no matter where you go, there you are. I think that I'm happy to see that there's growth in people's pages, but I'm also not surprised that the growth didn't create a functional change in the environment. I'm not surprised at that.
You see growth in people's pages.
Well, yeah, growth, like numerically, like view-wise, growth. But it doesn't mean that because there is growth, there is actual like change. You know, like we're still the same. The people are still the same. They just got more people watching.
Here's the thing that I wish could happen at the end of something like this, right? That people disassociate their personal feelings about something and just really listen to the message. Because many times when I listen to folks' videos around here, I try to listen for what the issue really is and how it could be resolved. Opposed to just going back out and making another video to be like, bitch, I don't like what you said because you said, because I'm not, I can assure you I'm nowhere around listening to that stuff, and maybe I might catch up with it in traffic somewhere else when somebody channel traffics it. Then I'll be like, damn, I just heard what this person had. Like, this person had a bunch of questions for me. And yes, I have most of you blocked. So if you mention me on, I'm just being honest. If you mention me on that thing once I discovered that feature because I found the mentions to be a problem.
Right.
So I blocked people. Once they mentioned me over there and I really found where to find that thing at, I blocked you. So I don't have to worry about people saying, I tagged her in a video and she didn't show up, pull up, whatever. I'm never going to pull up because I've already blocked you. So if you make an invitation to pull up, it's not going to happen because I already blocked you. So your mention is nothing to me. But there's always an appropriate invitation you can give somebody to something. Or better yet, I did drop my little. Did I? Wait a second. Let me be politically correct around here and say I dropped the channel, whatever this was, the link. You don't have to stay around. I'm pinning it. I pinned the link to the top of the screen just in case somebody wanted to say something to me. But I very much doubt that there's anything to be said to me because the situations.
You know what? I think if I leave, someone will come.
No one's gonna come because at the end of the day,
bitches, they gonna be up here. I'm joking. You guys are punk bitches. You guys are hard.
They hardcore motherfuckers. They hardcore mofos.
Don't come for me. Y'all not punk bitches. I was playing. I was joking. None of you guys are bitches. I didn't mean it like that.
You shouldn't mean it like that. Hey, Cameron.
I didn't mean it like that. I was joking.
Wait a second. We got a commentary here. The resolve resolution is only temporary, and after so many years, people should see that. They should. At the end of the day, one of the things that you are privileged to is to comment on the things that you see around here. And folks really try to hammer to you that by talking about what you see around here, right, you're trying to stay around here. No, y'all got me here. And sometimes I just can't take no more of it. And I just want to put a different spin on some of this stuff. I just can't take no more. Seeing it in its I can't deal with how it plays itself out, but I definitely can say I see things from everyone's perspective, if that makes any kind of sense.
And you know what? That's probably fair to say. If like I don't know if I'm fair in looking at it, right? I say there's people that I like and there's people that I don't like. So the people that I like, when they make content about people that I don't like, I'll watch it if it's funny, and if it's not funny, I don't. And the people that I don't like, if they're making fun of someone that I do like, I won't watch it because I won't think it's funny. So I don't have an interest in watching the people that I don't like make fun of people that I do like, but I will watch people that I do like make fun of people that I don't like.
So this is probably why I can never get straight answers when people are when their content has something to do with me in it. I can never get a straight answer from folks. I'd be like, yo, so what was really said? And people be like, I don't know, I didn't see that part. But when they started talking about I was like, so what you gonna tell me they mentioned me for if you're not gonna tell me what they said? Oh, what have you, right? It's because y'all wasn't around to hear it? Really?
I mean, I don't know if we had conversations, maybe some, I don't know.
Maybe you one of those. You one of them.
But I think most of the time, when there's someone I like, I'll be like, fuck this shit. Fuck them. Right? I'm not gonna sit here and laugh with them. Right? They might say something funny. I'll be forced to laugh because I couldn't contain myself. So I can't give them that. I got to get out.
But that might be the thing that you need to do in order to break.
I'm biased. I'm biased. I'm biased. Though. I will admit that I am biased. Like I'm not.
Sometimes, right? But so are you biased to a fault that you're not a friend?
Am I biased to a fault that I'm not a friend?
Right. Sometimes you have to endure and hear the negativity about your friend, right? Mm-hmm. In order to be a good friend. Because you can hear something, right? Yeah. And you could be like, damn, you know what? They might be a little bit right about that. I might, like, I do this all the time. I'd be like, damn, that's a point. Yeah. You know? So how do I convey that point to Mo to let her see, like, this is how you really, like, this like I agree with that. Like that's a fair an
I
analysis.
mentioned that to you today. About the who said what first.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, wait a minute, well they're right. That was so yeah, I guess I can do that too.
Yeah, because there comes a point when you just have to be like if you really listen to it, and that's why I talk about people talking over people, under people, around people, but not to people, and then you can never resolve anything because what you said the circular thing works out much better because there's an opportunity to come back and talk about the same thing all over again.
I think like I like laughing. So if it's funny, like I can hang out much longer if it's funny. If it's just mean or nasty, it's not that funny for me. So I'll be like, all right, I'm out of here. But if it's, you know what I'm saying, if they're cracking jokes, if they're doing a funny presentation, I can stick around much longer if that's what's going on.
Yo, I don't know which presentation was, but I think it was presentation number 2. Yo, they had a video. Did they have a video of all the people that hate Psycho, right? So it was like it was nice. I don't know who put this together because of course I came in the ass butt part of it, right? So there's like how many people could have been the person that canceled her cake. So it's like the 50 people that could have canceled the cake, and then it's like number 1 is this person. But of course, I'm down to like I am in the part of the clip where they're probably at number 40 something, and they're playing Nappy Head, and Nappy Head is up there talking about you're a terrible person and this and that. So they're like, so it's like a mystery. Who is the person? Who could have been the person that canceled the wedding cake? Right?
No, I thought that I didn't know what that was about, right? So I clicked it, right, and I just went to like this. This is how I watch videos. I'm telling you the truth. I just click it, and then I just go to a random part, and I just see if that part will keep me going. If I don't know what's going on, I'll just click another part and see if it'll give me. So I clicked it, and it was like 50 something, and then I clicked another one, and it was like 37. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
So that's what so I was like, that is fucking creative. Like if I was the person, right, I know this is probably not being received by that person like, no, that shit ain't fucking funny. No, that shit is very creative. That is like they put a spin on this. That like anybody. So it was like whoever made that part of the video, like, and it's an old video, so they just they channel trafficking some old shit. And the old shit, somebody broke down and was like, who's the person that could have canceled your cake? Like, you got so many fucking enemies out here. Here's all the people that could have canceled your cake. So now that same visual tool is now being used to say, look at all these people that was against your ass now hanging back around your ass. Right, number 54.
Well,
so I don't know if I have a number up there. I hope I don't. But like, it's like I'm like, damn. So I'm sitting up here. I'm like, damn. They found 50 something people.
Who was the person? Like, are there even 50 people making content over here?
No, it was funny because
it was like a chat. Yeah, there's a chat in there, and probably it's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know if I got that kind of resolve.
But you would be the type of shut up, stop it. You're the type of person that would have thought of something like that as an alternative way to address the issue.
Yeah, maybe.
Or another way to display the problem. Cause that's exactly
yeah. Like I can agree with that. Like I think that like going forward, like in the lesson that I've learned of the arguing and being offensive, that my preference will just be to be deflective by trying to be humorous.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe you'll go silent and make a video like their and just be listening to music or something, and then you title it and be like, silence is golden.
I'm like, should have considered that a year ago.
I was like, why don't you go steal that other one saying, talk about if a tree falls in the forest, you're nowhere around. Do you hear this? You're not gonna understand the humor if you haven't been here to endure the issue.
Okay. You know
And
what? I think it's
it's
I like
fair.
I like it around here sometimes. Sometimes it's fun.
Sometimes it is. Well, we could probably catch up. I'm gonna do a whole series next starting December 1st. You know how people so they do this thing called something December, like the vlogmas. Hey
Uh-huh.
Boogie. They now people gonna get mad because I said hey to Boogie. Wait a second. Hi Boogie. Hey Karen. Hey Renee. Hey Amber. Hey Dandelion. So I think I've said said hello now to everybody that entered in here at one point in the commentary. Because I hadn't been shouting out people for their arrival. So they do this vlogmas thing, right? So I don't have that many videos that I put out in 2022. But what I will do is I'm going to do my 31 days of 2022. So I'm going to try to capture 31 spectacular things that happened to me in 2022 on a platform that I want to highlight.
Good luck with that. Are you going to put negatives in there too, or just good things that were good?
I'm gonna just do whatever were the highlights for my because you know what, sometimes negative is a highlight because it's something that. So I'm gonna go through my videos because it shouldn't be a lot of them, and I should be able to come up with. So like some people do the 12 days of Vlogmas or whatever. So I'm gonna try to find a number because I've identified some things in some videos from this year. Like this year, I'm gonna tell you right now. Having Reckless on the panel and talking to Reckless, that was a phenomenal moment, right? So I don't know if I'm gonna do them as a countdown to like the 12 best moments of Monos, or maybe I'll just come down. We're in season 5 or 6.
I'm just gonna steal these ideas and do it myself.
Yeah, well, you got that content like that. You got some stuff like that. But I have the Reckless moment for this year, which will go down in infamy here, right? Then I have the moment with I have the moment with oh God, with I know he just wrote in my comments the other day too. Myron, I got the interview with Myron. These are things that are unlocked, right? People probably really haven't really seen them because I locked them down after they occurred, right? But those are highlights for me. And I have some relationships that I severed in this year. To me, those are highlights to me as well, right?
Yeah.
So and maybe they need context around them, not to highlight that the people are gone, right? Well, I dissolved the influences this year, and that's an important moment, right? But it's not because I dissolved the influences because I don't love them or have love in my heart for them. It just had no more place here.
Well, no, that probably could certainly give a reason for the direction for next year.
Correct.
And it kind of see like
it is because I go into January with January being my channelversary. Yeah. So this is where it is, and I know where I'm going, which is absolutely back on my grind the way I wanted it. I mean, I've been talking about success in the last week since I've been back. I've been trying to express that success is a solo event that has supporters, but you can only be successful if you endeavor to do it. And if you think your success is contingent on others, then you're going to be stagnant.
Oh.
Or at least that's what I've experienced thus far.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted here
because of you trying to do a Vlogmas thing.
No, listen, I just saw this headline. It says a Virginia woman loses $170K in phishing scam. It says she loses.
What kind of phishing scam with a PH?
It says phishing with a PH. Yep. It says,
okay.
It says she lost 170K in online phishing scam after meeting a doctor on a dating website. And I'm trying. This is on YouTube. The person is the headline about. I'm trying to find the actual news story because that seems quite. That's a lot of damn money. Like, did she like liquidate her 401k? Like, what the? Wow.
Those romance things are, those romance schemes are very prevalent. So it's you're always amazed by the amount of money women had liquid loose around here to give away.
Because so, and the other thing about the picture was the lady. It's a black lady in the picture, but her complexion looks like her complexion and hairstyle reminds me of the lady. Remember the lady who was addicted to tanning?
Oh no! Every time I think of a white woman acting black or trying to pass herself off as black, the first person I think of is the chick from the NAACP.
Oh yeah, she's doing OnlyFans.
That look like a bad tan.
She's on OnlyFans now. What's her name?
Dossier.
Dolezal, Rachel Dolezal. Dolezal. Yeah, she's putting out that good content now.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
So on OnlyFans, everyone's having sex, so it's like XXX or something like that. It's like a porn channel. It's a porn social.
Everyone's not having sex on OnlyFans. I don't think she's having sex on OnlyFans. I think she's giving the people more than what they would get if they were looking at her Instagram.
So it's like Patreon on crack.
Yeah, her story is probably similar to the lady from yesterday, the teacher. Rachel Dolezal's been getting in shape, and now she's in shape, and now she's posting semi-nude pictures on OnlyFans. If you wanted to see it.
What's your wrinkle pussy? I can't be your lover. Like what? To the TikTok, stuff.
Listen, I don't know who the people are that want to pay to see.
God damn, y'all ain't got nothing.
People are willing to pay to see it, man. They want to see it. They're like, I saw you with your clothes on. I'm willing to give you $10 a month to see you take them off.
That's crazy. Oh, that's different. I mean I don't know who are these people. Where do they come from? Where do they find these people at?
It's the most popular medium, so it's probably almost everybody. Or it's a lot, or there's a very minimal amount of people that are paying a lot of money. One of the two. It's either a lot of people paying a little bit, or everyone, or a little bit paying a lot.
So it's not just a sex place. Because, I am watching the trial, or I will be following the trial of the
OnlyFans.
The OnlyFans chick that killed the black guy.
Yeah.
And what?
That case.
What about it?
Well, I said it might be interesting. The case. I didn't really pay attention to it, but it seemed like she tried to be deceptive in preventing them from discovering that she was the murderer. So it might be interesting to find out what the details are.
Oh, is that what you believe? I think no. She killed him. They know she admitted it.
Oh, she admitted it.
Yeah,
didn't she try to hide it? Wasn't she trying to hide the fact that she did it in the beginning?
No, I think what happened is, I don't know. I can't say that because remember when I follow court cases, I follow them basically based on what's getting into the courtroom, the information getting into the courtroom. So the information that we have so far is that she interviewed with the police. She admitted to stabbing him in self-defense, but they charge her like they don't believe your self-defense. So you got to go to court now and prove it to your peers, a jury of your peers, or a judge, if you should take a bench trial, that you were acting in self-defense. They have other indicators to say that it wasn't, that she was the aggressor and not he. But it all boils down to what happened on that day. It is a case that's in Florida. Florida courts and Florida jurors are so unpredictable that it could be any man's win at this point.
Yeah. This was it's last episode for our run, right? This I saw this headline, which I thought was insane. It said Houston widow found not guilty of murdering husband by stabbing him 89 times.
In California. Oh no, it's a Houston woman. Okay.
So, but apparently it was a self-defense where he was abusive to her, and she finally snapped.
What's her name?
Her name is Janet Alexander.
Because they had a trial earlier this year with the woman who stabbed her husband several times in the house, blah, 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 blah. And she was found not guilty of it.
Yeah, this might be the story. She set the house on fire after that. I think that's his story here. But
I don't remember. I know she called the police and tried to clean up the scene and all kinds of shit in the house. I don't know if she set anything on fire.
The story probably happens a lot, but in her story, she killed him, and then she set the house on fire, and then when they found the body, she was like, "Yeah, I killed him, but it was self-defense." But she was found not guilty. This is this week.
Oh no! This case would have happened earlier this year, when the lady was found not guilty of killing her husband. What stood out to me about that case, when she was found not guilty, is that to go to trial, she wanted the judge to allow her to dye her hair so that she could look younger before the jurors, because they hold you and they detain you, right?
Yeah.
You don't get to look like, if you was home, you would be able to still look like you was out on the street. She was looking aged or whatever, and she didn't want to come across that way. With the thing with to the jurors,
yeah,
but they found her not guilty. But I'm trying to remember now, because I followed it, and he was somebody affluent. I think he was he was somebody of importance, and I think it had something to do with Trump or whatever. I'm surprised you didn't follow it, because I felt like it had something to do with that.
Yeah, I don't remember the story, but it sounds interesting now that they said that she wanted to dye her hair to go to court. But,
well, she just didn't want to look old in front of the jurors. But at the end of the day, she did testify. She did explain why she killed him, and I guess they believed her self-defense, and she was found not guilty. So it's possible. It's possible to be in an intimate partner relationship that's violent, and I gotta find out what that lettering is. I know it's intimate partner something that represents. It's the stuff that they said Johnny Depp and his person was. Now wait a minute. I went to my notes on the OnlyFans murder chick. Let me see something. If she. No, they said that when they got the autopsy report, the way in which she stabbed him with the knife was in a downward angle, which would mean that she was over him.
Yeah.
And he couldn't have been a threat. So because of the way in which he was stabbed, and with the 3-inch knife, and it was a forcible thrust, they felt that it could not have been in self-defense.
Oh,
if she had stabbed him in any other way. And then this OnlyFans chick, she's a bodybuilder. Does she come across as a bodybuilder to you?
No.
But she's alleging that she was in a sex trafficking situation with him and an abusive relationship.
Oh,
that's her self-defense.
if I
Domestic violence and human trafficking.
that's going to be exactly what I'm going to say if I murder someone. I'm going to say that they made me do it or something like that. And I'm going to try to find some way to remove myself from having the responsibility for my actions because of what they were doing to me. And like when that lady says, I stabbed him 89 times in self-defense, say, well, it took 89 times. Like you stabbed him 89 times. Like at one point in time, did you get to say, he ain't getting up no more? You know what I mean? Like, so.
Well, it depends. Maybe they demonstrated that mental anguish she was at the time, that it just made a person, because there is overkill, which makes it personal, and there's a reason for it. Like the Alex Murdaugh trial. That's the attorney down there in South Carolina, whose son. So this is like a multi-crime shit. He's been arrested because he was supposed to have so Alex Murdaugh is arrested and charged with killing his wife and son.
Uh-huh.
And frauding out all of his fucking clients and being like the worst, defrauding his own practice, yada yada yada. But it starts with his son, who was involved in an accident on a boat that resulted in the death of one of the passengers that was on the boat. And they were going to trial for that crime. His son was going to trial for that crime. And I guess a lot of this stuff was going to come out, his financial woes or whatever, because basically you're suing the son who ain't nobody. So you're ultimately suing the father's money. And I guess the motive for the DA is that he killed his son because of that trial coming up, and he killed them for money, and it would go away. Because the one thing that's interesting, if you have a matter before the court and you die before it is resolved, the matter is removed because you're not found guilty of it or anything. So it's just it's dismissed without prejudice or with prejudice because you can't be tried for it. So you never get that person thing. So he dies with a clean slate. The son does, right? But the father killed him. But it's like, so anyway, he files recently in court and says he filed an alibi for the time of death, even though he's the person that discovered his dead wife and his dead son. It's things like that. It's cases like that I just wish the dead could come back alive. And it's probably going to be the same case with these teenagers who were found dead in their apartment.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's why I like doing those type of cases, or listening to those type of cases get adjudicated in court. But cases like Darrell Brooks make it hard for us to get cameras in the courtroom for the real cases that you really want to see, because you've seen a mockery of that shit and how that unfolded. Judges are not willing to put themselves out there. The Parkland murderer, he had that female judge and she ran amok on that shit. People are not willing to have their courtrooms turned into kangaroo courts. Well, banana republics.
That's I guess that's our loss.
Yeah, because
because the ones that would be the most entertaining or interesting to the general public
informative.
Well, they're all probably informative, right? Like I mean, if you watch any, like, they're informative because they're giving all this information and you can know exactly what happened, but it's not necessarily entertaining. The ones that are entertaining, which means like there's going to be some inflammatory content or a character in there that's doing something that's outlandish, would draw more people, which would make them say, we don't want to show this anymore.
No, they know we want to see it, because look at Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
The world was stunned. Like they was glued there watching this, right? It started from like a nobody, little Virginia or something, to people having a lottery outside of it to get in every day to view this in person. even though they was watching it,
Like I
out
wasn't
here.
engaged in it. I wasn't engaged in it until I started hearing the testimony, and then I was like, "Oh, this testimony is interesting." And but it wasn't because
Was it
like
entertaining?
it was entertaining to hear the stories from the firsthand perspective.
Okay, then I have to.
But when I tried to watch the Darrell Brooks when they were in the procedural part of it, it was very boring. I couldn't. It didn't hold my attention. He wasn't allowed to talk. He's just sitting there, and she's just reading all of these, I guess, things that you have to say, which held me there for like 45 seconds. And I was like, oh, she doesn't appear that she's gonna let him talk right now. So I'm gonna go find something else to listen to, you know?
Yeah, his trial was his trial, like I will always say this and feel this way until he gets an appeal and wins. He should have never been allowed to represent himself. That was a miss.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I heard something yesterday on the news when I was driving. They were talking about the Darrell Brooks trial, and the person on the news said they described his defense as from his defense team. His defense team claimed, and I was like, he's the defense team.
No, because initially he had a defense team. So what did they say his defense team did?
I can't remember what the fact was that they were saying that he claimed, but I just thought it was funny when he said it because I was like, he defended himself.
Well, I think what happened was he had a defense team initially. So they did what defense teams would do. Say, this nigga is crazy right here. And they tried to get him for being insane. And he was like, I'm not insane.
Well, there was that defense. Your Honor,
like I said, they just didn't want to waste their money on something.
But I am not crazy.
Well, it's obvious, but one thing that I don't like about the prosecutors of today, right? You got him. You got some of these people red-handed right now, right? But you don't want to give no kind of leverage, none whatsoever, to just make this go away. Like even if he had got one life sentence, let's just put it like that, right? Even if you gave him one life sentence for the 6 lives he killed, right? He still would have had a life sentence.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter much that he's got a life sentence plus 700 and something more years. Like it just...
It makes it sound better when you say he's got 1,075 years versus life.
Yeah, and then on top of it, he's got other cases, other places. And I'm saying to myself, when you come in my courtroom now, and I know you got life over there, but this doesn't have no weight because they're going to still have to try him for these cases, because if he gets an appeal and wins on those cases over there, he'll be let out. And I would have settled my case saying he's already got life over there, so why bother? That's what happened with R. Kelly. People were like, all right, so they already gave him life in New York. Why are y'all bothering to go back to Chicago and finish this damn thing up over there, right? The question is, they're putting a nail in the coffin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, just in case y'all fuck around and made a mistake, you know, or whatever happens in court when they come back and say there was a procedural thing that happened.
That's called an appeal, sir. An appeal.
They found some flaw in the process and say, you gotta let him go. Like, nah, we're not letting him go. But I gotta go.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. I gotta
go pick her up from the sleepover.
Okay. Well, you go ahead and enjoy your rest of your Sunday.
But yeah, thanks for having me up, Mo. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks for coming over.
Oh, don't do that.
Bye. Okay, now I need to see. Now, see, this is going to bother me today. Oh, maybe it's because... I don't know, but we're going to just stick with it. We got this. Oh, I know what I did. I know exactly what I did. Okay, hold on. I think I know. Anyway, I dropped the chat I dropped the link to the video if anybody wants to join. I'll be here for another 25 minutes. I know what I did. Okay, how do I fix that? Momo. I did something when I was doing this. So 1 second. Let me see. Let me see if the other way I'll leave it. Well, let me see what the output looks like. Always looking at the output of things. I'm waiting to see what that looks like. See, that looks. How did I do that? Anyway, it's always something with me trying to fix this stuff in the back of the scenes. But I think it had to do with, all right, what's the other thing? I think it's this thing right here. Nope, it's not that thing. All right, anyway, question, comments, concerns. Boogie, what you been up to? I saw you been doing some kind of live. I've been trying to figure it out for myself. It's something behind the scenes. It has to do with that one. It's not that one. It's not. Could it be this one? No, it's not. Oh, how come I got this one? All right, so I got that one, but I don't have this one. So if I was to go like that, I don't have that one. All right, I have that one. So let me see. I'm just messing around with the thing before I leave. But I wonder how I did that. Working, just got 2 promotions. Oh. That would sound like working two different jobs. Hang on, I'm gonna fade y'all to black for a minute because I want to see something. Because you know this is gonna bother me. But I was wondering why it was like this before too. Hold up. Let me see if that makes the difference. Hold on a second. No, it really doesn't make the difference. All right. I can't be missing half the body. I don't know what that is about. But I always I don't know why this one cut off like that. I wonder why it did that. I wonder what I did. Now I'm going to spend half my day trying to figure that out. Anyway, I work a good 15 hours a day. Okay, that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with a little hard work. A little hard work ain't never killed nobody. Ain't never harm nobody. No harm, no foul. So let me see if I do this. No, they all doing the same thing. So there's something on this screen that I did. When I wanted to get the two people on the thing. I know what I cut down to get to that. So I didn't realize I cut it down. Anyway. But that's going to be so interesting because what did I cut down to do that? I did cut that down to do that. Anyway, I'll fix it behind the scenes. I don't got too much more to say about anything else about around or about. I'm just doing me. Gave y'all a preview into my next comings and goings. I might consider my Vlogmas thing to be shorts. Only because somebody keeps bothering me about shorts. But I'm going to have to show somebody that that's not going to work still. Why it's not going to be a formula for my endeavors. But I could show you better than I could tell you. I'm so mad with this because I know what I did. I know exactly what I did. And now I got to try to, there it is. I got to try to bring it back out. All right, that's better. I could live with that better. All right, that's what I did. And I know what I did. Oh, and I kind of like this. All right, this is better. This is better to me. I know it don't mean not a darn thing to y'all in cyberspace, but it means the world to me in Momomo space. I can see it over here and I'm seeing it over there. Okay, this actually looks much better to me. I would definitely like that. All right, questions, comments, and concerns out of the chat. Hey Renee, nice to see you in here today. I appreciate your participation. You know, it's always good to see old faces inside the places, but I also realize what the energy is when you see like a Glib and Monica together talking. It's like, yeah, it's okay, it's just Glib and Monica. Okay, we can roll with this. I really like this, even though I gotta do something because my little crown guy, my little queen, she not looking like a queen anymore. I gotta do something to make her look a little bit more realistic. And that's about it. Yeah, I'm just, I'm just trying to be me. I'm just, I'm just trying to stay, I don't know how to put it, but I know how I'm living. So I'm just trying to stay above the fray. Like I'm just, yeah, that's the best way to put it. I'm trying to stay above board. Really am. And then here I am. Here we are in this little itsy room, staring each other down. Anyway, called cyberspace. So I wonder if I was to do this thing again, right? But now I know what I need to do. I need to do it from this point. All right, I need more of her to come out. Because she always got to look like the queen. I can't be having her not look like the queen. That's about that. Then I need to come over here. Like, I'm messing with stuff. I noticed what I did, but yeah, that's what it is. I can't have her not look like the queen behind me. The queen that she is. Go lady. Go lady. But in the coming weeks, I'm probably gonna do that a little differently too. And that's it. I gotta get a steady format here because some stuff been bothering me lately. Oh, that's much better. And that's about it. Any questions, comments, or concerns from the chat? And that's it. If anybody wanted to know, I do have a list of the new readings that I'm gonna do. The next book on my list is got the title Bird in it. That Bird Has My Wings. That's the next book up for me. I had to decide. I wanted to know that I wanted to get it in a book, or am I gonna read it off of my tablet? I'm gonna read it from my tablet because I've decided that it's easier to go to work with the tablet than it is to carry the book. So I'm gonna download the electronic version of it. But I hate that format because I still take notes and I like to write in the books. When I'm reading the books, I'm writing all over in the book. So I gotta figure it. But that's my next book, and then I think the one following that is gonna be The Sun Does Shine. I wonder why I want that book. Hold up. I have it on my list, but I didn't highlight around it to see if that was what I wanted to do. Hold on a second. So give me a minute. I just want, because sometimes people do ask me, what am I reading in terms of reading? What did I say that book is? The Sun Does Shine. Let me see. I want to see because I don't think I vetted it. Like, I know for certain I'm reading That Bird Has My Wings. Now I can't even find the damn book. It should be a book because I think a book by Anthony Ray Hinton and Laura Love Hardin. The Sun Does Shine, How I Found Life and Freedom. This was a death row inmate's book. Okay, so you know what? I'm probably not reading those two back to back. That's why I had a space between it. Hold on. Cuz I sometimes I can't take into my spirit oh God. Yeah. So here's the problem. I'm definitely reading That Bird Has My Wings, right? Then I had like two other books alternatively behind it, but they seem like they might stretch my patience. If that makes sense. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna rock with those two books. But yeah. But that's where I find myself. That's what I find myself going to be doing. That's where I find myself, where I'm going to be reading and what I'm going to be into in the next couple of days. Well, actually, the Bird book, I'm starting that next week on. Well, not this week coming in. So like we're in a new week. Like tomorrow's Monday. I'm not going into the office this week. So next week when I'm commuting into the office, these are the books. This is the book I'm going to start with. The Bird Has My Wings. Yeah. But see, now I might want to do The Sun Does Shine. I still got to decide between the two of them. But I think The Bird Has My Wings won when I thought about it. Anyway, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. I hope folks, find some inner peace around here with some of the things going on. And, if they don't, I'm going to just keep moving the way I move and see the things the way I see things. And I can't help you if you are angry at me for my opinion. It matters to me. Maybe it shouldn't even matter to you. When you put one's opinion ahead of your own, you saying something about yourself. Anyway, this is Mo, and I'm about to go. So today's broadcast was brought to you by, it was a collaboration, Glib and Monica. Stay motivated. Mo, mo, mo.